For the 38th time in the 2022 season, welcome into another edition of UNLV Rebels Baseball. Along with Wyatt Topchick, Matt and Everett welcoming you into Earl E. Wilson Stadium here on a Tuesday afternoon, picture-perfect blue skies above, for the second game of a two-game midweek non-conference set between the Rebels and the visiting Loyola Marymount Lions, who enter into today 13-22-1 after a 16-12 win last night. Lions plating 9 runs on 10 hits in the top half of the ninth inning, finishing the game with 16 runs on 16 hits. UNLV 12 runs on 12 hits. Taking the loss on the mound was Nick Rupp as he allowed 9 runs, 2 earned in just 2/3 of an inning in the ninth. Michael Nunez with the win out of the bullpen, going 3 innings, allowing 3 runs. While the bats backed him up, Nunez moved to 2-0, Rupp to 4-2. Today, in the final game of this two-game set, it'll be Nolan George versus Mason Kokodinsky. The pitching matchup, we'll take a look at the defense behind Nolan George, with Eric Bajani doing the catching, filling up the battery. Hank Zeisler at first, with Darian Williams at second base, who clubbed a big-time 2-run home run in the bottom of the ninth inning last night. Diego Alarcon at third, with Braden Murphy getting the start at shortstop today for the 15th time. In the outfield, left to right, Austin Krizik, Rylan Charles, and Joey Walls here on a Tuesday afternoon. And we'll bring in Wyatt Topchick. Wyatt, this is going to be a big-time comeback effort for the Rebels after they made 3 big-time comebacks last night.
Yeah, I mean, for UNLV, Matt, I think the big thing for them is they got to have a decent pitching performance. It really has been kind of a red alarm for the Rebels as of late. They're giving up a lot of runs and blowing a lot of leads. I mean, you saw that ninth inning last night. 9 runs is just something that you can't have happen if you want to be a championship-winning team. So I want to see what the Rebels can do here in the midweek series, kind of build up that confidence at the pitching staff.
You know, the bats are there. The Rebels, the top-hitting team in all of college baseball, entering into yesterday's action. Tops in the NCAA in both hits and batting average, also first in the country in doubles. It'll be Nolan George's 3rd start and 5th overall appearance on the year. Right-hander wearing number 29, a 6'1", 190-pound freshman out of Temecula, California, up against Devin Ornelas, the leadoff batter for Loyola Marymount, as the left-handed hitter takes the first pitch on the elbow. George gets us underway at 2:05 as he plunks the leadoff batter, and not the start you want for George, who has hit one other batter on the year in just under 12 innings.
Number 6, Benny.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, obviously, kind of the announcer's jinx right there. You want to see it start off strong on the mound, and first pitch goes right in the elbow of the opposing batter.
There's something to be said for establishing the inside corner, but maybe not that early on. With Ornelas off of first base, 9 for 11 in steal tries. Here's the shortstop, Benny Casillas, who takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. Timothy Resch, our home plate umpire this afternoon. Eduardo Ruiz down the first base line. Michael Grishman across from him at third, and shaded inside the bag at second is Anthony Andrews, our quartet of umpires here on Tuesday. Casillas followed by Diego Baquero, the third baseman. Shortstop, but Casillas swings and misses for strike 2. Grant Weiss, the left fielder, will bat in the cleanup spot with Liam Critchett, the DH. He had a pinch hit single that drove in a run last night in his only at-bat. Robbie Ayers, the catcher, makes his 2nd start of the series and his 5th start overall on the year. Here's the 0-2 from George. Swung on and fouled into the seats down the right field line, and finishing up the batting lineup for the Lions, led by their 4th-year head coach Nathan Choate. Dylan Dennis, the first baseman, bats 7th for the 2nd straight day. Ben Grunberg out in right, batting 8th, and Cole Roberts hitting 9th, the same bottom 3 in the same positions as the 16-12 win last night. And prior to another 0-2 offering, George snaps a throw to first base. Diving back in head first and safely is Ornelas. Meanwhile, Casillas at the plate. 3 hits and 6 at-bats. 3 singles. He scored every time that he reached. Count 0-2. Pitch swung on and missed. Reaching for a pitch in the dirt with first base occupied. No throw down to first, but Ornelas with a...
And we'll see here, Matt. It might be Stan Solte coming out. Maybe some interference there by the batter, because the runner was going to second. Bajani there behind the plate had a little bit of trouble tagging the batter out, and he looked back at the umpire and said, "Hey, kind of what the heck?" I was like, I couldn't field the ball and throw it to second. We'll see if the runner will head back to first there on maybe interference.
And there is precedent to this, as last night Austin Krizik was called for batter's interference after swinging and missing at strike 3 with the runner heading to first to second. In that situation, the runner is out as well. So that's not the case here. They're going to say that the catcher Bajani had to work too hard, I guess, to get that one out of the dirt and around the batter Casillas, who strikes out for the first down, with the runner advancing to second on the pitch in the dirt. Brings up the third baseman Diego Baquero, who with his average perilously close to 300, enters at 299 today. He had a game to remember last night. George's first pitch to him is in the dirt, blocked by Bajani. Rebels rocking the black alternate tops tonight with the white home pants. Loyola Marymount, red jerseys, red caps, and the gray road pants. Baquero finished last night's game 3 for 5 with a home run, a double, 3 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. Was the top offensive performer for the visiting Lions. The 1-0 pitch, it's swung on, lined into center field. Sprinting in is Charles, he won't get it, as it takes one hop in front of him, rounding third, heading to the plate is Ornelas. Cut off by Zeisler, and the throw to the plate's not going to be in time. So that'll go as another RBI single for Baquero. His 4th RBI of the set puts Loyola Marymount on top in the first inning, well, yet again.
You see there for Loyola Marymount manufacturing those runs. You get a drop ball there on the called third strike. For UNLV, runner advances to second. Just one of those things for UNLV. We saw it yesterday with the errors. Those unforced mistakes really come back to bite UNLV.
Off of first is Baquero with Grant Weiss climbing into the right-hand batter's box. The fielder watches a fastball just down and just inside, with the wind absolutely howling to straightaway center field. On paper at 25 miles an hour, but a dust devil blowing in the warning track in center leads you to believe it's more than that. A jet stream out towards the outfield again. As this 1-0 rather, is bounced in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to Weiss, who's hitting .298 on the year.
I will say, Matt, one thing, this wind is absolutely brutal right now going out to straightaway center field. But called the game on Saturday against San Jose State for UNLV, and it was windy as all could be. Tradition like no other. Windy on Saturdays, and it was tough for the outfielders. This
one's hit in the air, straight away to center field. Rylan Charles is going to turn around and watch it fly over the fence. As we're talking about it, the wind absolutely pushing that one beyond the center field fence. Weiss struck it well, but up into the 30-plus mile-an-hour winds, that thing was gone the second it got above the outfield fence. So Loyola Marymount, for the second straight day, a multi-run top of the first inning. And for George, that's the 4th home run that he's allowed in 11 2/3 innings.
Yeah, Matt, using the elements to your advantage. I mean, that we were talking about, that wind was blowing very hard to straightaway center. I got to think that was about 30 miles an hour. You put it up in the jet stream. Rylan Charles out in center field took a couple steps and realized this ball's going to be long gone. That one cleared the fence pretty easily.
Here's Liam Critchett. Big swing and a miss on the fading changeup. George coming back, getting strike 1 on the swing and miss from Critchett. That home run for Weiss is his 5th of the year. RBIs number 18 and 19 coming in. Second straight pitch that Critchett swings at. This time he hits it up in the air down the third base side. Krizik slides. He's able to make the catch. Austin Krizik grabbing it in fair ground. He lost the hat early on with the wind blowing it away. Believe the wind likely pushed that one back in towards fair ground as well.
Yeah, Matt, I thought coming off the bat that was going to go down the left field line out of play, but that actually landed in fair territory, or potentially could have landed in fair territory. Nice play there by Austin Krizik. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an adventure, Matt. I'm glad we're up here and not out in the outfield trying to field those fly balls.
Robbie Ayers takes a first pitch fastball for a strike from Nolan George, batting with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top half of the first inning. Loyola Marymount jumping out to a 3-0 lead. RBI single by Baquero, followed by a 2-run home run from Grant Weiss, as George misses away to even the count. Ayers, the catcher with a multi-hit game last night, hits number 2 and 3 on the year for him. Fastball low, moves it to 2-1. Ayers playing in his 8th game today, starting for the 5th time, entered the day yesterday, 1 of 13 on the year, as he finished 2 for 5 with an RBI double, 3 RBIs in total on the game. Slaps this one straight back over the screen, and count goes all square at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning.
Well, I think here, Matt, for both pitchers, do you think they're going to be attacking more down in the zone to try to get those ground balls?
You would think so. As George gets a swing and a miss from Ayers, he went up with it there. Gets his second strikeout through the first inning, but the damage done early on with Baquero and Weiss driving in 3 runs, as the Rebels will send Rylan Charles up against Mason Kokodinsky when we return, trailing 3-0. Matt Neverett and Wyatt Tomczyk with you from Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Loyola Marymount leads UNLV 3-0 with Ryland Charles set to lead it off. Let's set the defense for the Loyola Marymount Lions with Robbie Ayers doing the catching. He swung and missed at strike 3 to end the first. Dylan Dennis at first with Cole Roberts at second, the right side of the infield. Diego Baquero and Benny Casillas already contributing to the offense. They'll be at third and shortstop respectively with Grant Weiss in left, Devin Ornelas in center, and Ben Grunberg in right, the same outfield for the second straight day for Loyola Marymount. It'll be Mason Kokodinsky getting his first start and his 14th appearance of the year. Kokodinsky, the 6'4", 225-pound junior out of Brophy Prep in Phoenix. 0-2 with the 7.23 ERA. Rebels looking to jump over him early with the top of their lineup, Ryland Charles in from the left side. Austin Krizik will bat second and play in left field with Diego Alarcon batting third, playing third. Hank Zeisler, the first baseman, hits in the cleanup spot with Joey Walls batting fifth, out in right field today after he was a designated hitter in last night's loss. Charles swings at the first pitch, hits it straight back. The catcher Ayers back to the screen. It falls right over his head for a foul ball. That's what you're supposed to do as a fielder there, is find the wall and work in. And the pop fly straight to the catcher is one of the toughest, if not the toughest defensive play. You add the wind into that element, and it just makes it all the more tough.
Oh, it's almost impossible. I had that in the San Jose State, the final game UNLV played San Jose State. Spartans had the catcher just let the ball go right through. It's like, it's so tough, and the wind's going around. You sit there like, what do you want me to do?
Charles takes up and away to even the count. Finish setting the Rebels' offense with the Darian Williams, the second baseman, hitting sixth. Clubbed his 8th home run of the year last year. Braden Murphy gets the start at shortstop for the 15th time on the year. Hill at 7th. Eric Bajani catching, batting 8th. Santino Panaro, the DH, batting 9th. As Charles hits another fly ball straight back, and count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Rebel leadoff batter, hitting .358 on the year. Pacing the team and the Mountain West Conference with 59 hits, 3 of them for home runs. He's also driven in 33. The wind howling out to center as Kokodinsky rocks and deals on 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, a good block by Ayers. There's so much to like for Ryland Charles, and when he slid from right field to center field to begin this year, you wondered how the defense would play. It translated very well, and he's backed it up with the bat as well.
He's been a very important piece of this UNLV team this year out of the leadoff spot. You know, obviously James Gamble was the starting center fielder, went down, so you're able to move Charles from right to center, and just shows the depth of this team, Matt. Really, really impressive 1 through 9.
Charles took a bouncing ball on 2-2, so the count full to the leadoff batter. Kokodinsky drops the glove and fires on a 3-2 pitch. Charles grounds it right back up the middle under the glove of the pitcher. So Charles reaching on his league-leading 60th hit of the year. And the Rebels trailing 3-0 entering into the bottom of the first with some offense early on. A .358 batting average for Charles is going to take a climb. Austin Krizik batting .365 on the year. 6 home runs and 33 RBIs for Krizik, a Centennial product in Northwest Las Vegas. Krizik made a nice sliding grab for the second out of the first inning. Bats here with no batting gloves with Charles on first in the bottom of the frame. Watching all the way on a first pitch, blocked by Ayers behind the plate. And that was another important aspect last night, was the wild pitches, a number of balls back to the backstop for both teams, namely the Rebels in the 7th inning. Scored 2 runs on wild pitches in the first inning of work for Michael Nunez. He settled it down in the 8th. Only blemish in the 9th was a Darian Williams 2-run home run. As Krizik takes the fastball over the outside for a called strike 1. Evening up the count to Kriz, whose 17 doubles come in second on the team behind Joey Walls, who leads the country in that category. Charles, with a short lead off of first, watches as Kokodinsky deals. Krizik hits one in the air, corkscrewed into right field. Settling underneath is Grunberg. The right fielder battles with the sun. He's able to make the catch for the first out of the first inning. Charles scampers back to first. That'll bring in Diego Alarcon, who has done nothing but hit in his 2 years with the Rebel program. And although he's got 12 errors defensively at third, he does play a very, very capable hot corner.
I will say, Matt, you know, you look at this UNLV team, and you've been calling, you know, a good portion of the games this year. This 3-0 lead feels like nothing. This deficit for UNLV doesn't feel like anything. They can get that in a blink of an eye.
Multiple big comebacks in yesterday's loss. As Alarcon takes high, fastball Backing him away, Mason Kokodinsky out of Phoenix, Arizona. 6'4" junior, again making his first start and 14th overall appearance. He struck out 20 batters and walked 16. Opponents hitting .284 against him. Alarcon watches down, maybe a bit outside as well to move the count 2-1. The longest outing on the year for Kokodinsky out of the pen was 3 1/3 innings in a 9-5 loss against UCLA. The Los Angeles rivalry with Loyola Marymount on the west side of town and UCLA in Westwood. Dennis holding on at first. Roberts shaded towards the bag at second. Bouncing ball gets past the catcher Ayers. Heading up to second is Ryland Charles. He'll move up 90 feet on a wild pitch and almost on command. We were talking about the defensive nature of the backstops needing to be good. And for the second straight day, Ayers allows another wild pitch that he could have gotten in front of if the freshman was able to get down to the knees in time. These midweek conference, non-conference sets are great for getting some younger players playing time, as Nathan Choate is doing with Robbie Ayers. And watching all the way on 3-0 is Alarcon. It takes a called strike at the knees with Hank Zeisler waiting on deck.
And one thing, Matt, I was also very impressed with UNLV is their ability to really grind out at bats. They lead the Mount West in walks. I really love their focus at the plate.
Alarcon works a walk there, so they'll extend their conference-leading walk total, even though it isn't a non-conference game. With runners now on first and second base and one down, brings up Hank Zeisler, who homered yesterday, knocked his 8th of the year.
And Matt, let me ask you, as a pitcher, you're looking at this lineup 1 through 9, and they absolutely rake. But now you look at this lineup, and it's like, well, they don't swing outside the zone. It's like, how the heck am I going to beat them?
Yes, the thing is, you got to make pitchers pitches, but this UNLV team has a number of guys who can go the other way, so you can't just get away with pounding it down and outside. Zeisler's home run last night was the opposite way, as this one hits him. Got him on the back foot as Zeisler earns his way on the hard way. Charles to third, Alarcon to second, and that'll load the bases for Joey Walls.
Well, that got Zeisler right in the worst part there on the foot. It looks like he's really gingerly walking over to first. Looks like we got a mound visit here from Loyola Marymount. It was funny, Matt, in the game called on Saturday, the pitcher for San Jose State did not like facing off against left-handed hitters. It was a lefty versus lefty matchup, so you felt like, all right, he feels confident. He kept drilling people in the arm. The second time, Hank Zeisler took 2 pitches that he saw right on the arm. The second time, he just flipped the bat, kind of looked over. It's like, all right, I don't want to see you ever again back in this on the mound.
And already a couple of bodies jogging down to the Loyola Marymount bullpen. You knew in the first start of the year, Kokodinsky wasn't necessarily going to stretch it out. But after giving up a walk, a hit, and a hit batsman with one down, it's in a bases-loaded jam. And Nathan Choate, the head coach, does most of the mound visits. So it's always confusing, especially when there's a pitcher warming up in the bullpen and the manager emerges, which he did twice last night in the middle of at-bats. It was a 1-0 count to 2 separate batters. Saw something he didn't like technically and ran out there and instructed his pitchers. That'll bring up Joey Walls with the bases loaded. Las Vegas native swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Walls hitting .394 on the year, tied for second on the team with 7 long balls and 36 RBIs. Mentioned earlier, his 19 two-baggers, tops in the country. He had a double in the loss last night. Here's the 0-1. Nicely spotted, but off the outside for Kokodinsky, trying to get Walls to reach. But as you were saying, Wyatt, this team does not stretch out the zone. Walls, really one of the main guys who does such a good job of swinging at only strikes.
Yeah, you love to see that. This is an instance right here. You got a pitcher that's wild, bases loaded, 1 out. Make him throw something over the zone here.
Throws it over the zone indeed as Walls drives it deep in the air to left field. Going back as Weiss hits off the top of the wall. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Alarcon. Zeisler hobbled, getting the wave to the plate. The cutoff throw is mishandled by Casillas, and it's a 3 RBI bases clearing double for Joey Walls, and just like that, we are tied at 3.
Like I said, Matt, a 3-run deficit for UNLV feels like nothing. 1 swing of the bat, Joey Walls, one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in the country, gets another double on the year. And he was in a little bit of a funk there, kind of broke out in that last game against San Jose State. It's good to see Walls there get a bases clearing double.
He almost missed, or he just missed a home run by about a foot. That thing was not far from the top of the fence. RBIs number 37, 8, and 9 for Walls as he's on second representing the go-ahead run. Brings up a Darian Williams who absolutely clobbered a pitch in the 9th inning last night. Takes a fastball at the letters, upset with himself that he did so. Said fastball is going to be called for strike one. Darian Williams had a 435-foot home run over the video board in left field as the late comeback bid fell shy in the bottom of the 9th inning. But the two-run job was absolutely hammered. It's one of the longest home runs that we've ever seen a Darian hit. So he takes a breaking ball outside to even up the count at 1. He's got as much pop as anybody in the country to his pull side. He does spray the ball to right occasionally, but he is a very, very strong hitter when yanking the ball down the left field side. Just kind of gets the bat head around these pitches and has such strong hands. Goes the other way here, drives a foul ball down the right field side. That'll find the seats for strike 2, a ball and 2 strikes to Williams, who's hitting .344 on the year.
You mentioned that for Darian. The game against UC Riverside, although he hit an opposite field grand slam. That's why I think Darian Williams, correct me if I'm wrong, you could say that about anybody in this lineup for UNLV, but I think he's the best pure hitter.
Just as far as, gap to gap, drives the ball, but doesn't necessarily get under it too much. As he swings and misses at strike 3, fouling it back into the mitt. Just missing that pitch with Kokodinsky earning his first strikeout of the day, his 21st of the year.
And of course, right there, best pure hitter, and then he strikes out on the next pitch. Sorry, Darian. Got you there on the jinx.
Wind blowing our center field camera all over the place. I mean, it is as windy as it's been for any game so far on the year. That'll give Braden Murphy a chance with the go-ahead run on second base in the home half of the first inning.
I swear I'm glad I'm not flying watching a plane come in. It's like going on a teeter-totter right there. I was like, I'm glad we're sitting here, Matt.
First pitch fastball bounces into Murphy, making his 22nd appearance, 15th start. A .286 average for him, a couple of home runs and 16 RBIs. Murphy, the sophomore infielder, UC Irvine transfer, originally from Cyprus. With Eric Bajani awaiting on deck. Look back to second for Kokodinsky. Here's the 1-0. It's hit in the air down the left field line. That's going to fade into the bullpen. On one bounce, you could see that one get affected by the wind, even about 10 feet off the ground. The right-hander warming up. Looks like it's Connor Kershaw, wearing number 39, getting loose. We'll see how long they stretch Kokodinsky out. Count 1-1 to Murphy. The next pitch will be the 25th of the first inning for Kokodinsky. So he misses inside. Good watch by Murphy on the breaking pitch moving in towards him. Last time out for the Loyola Marymount starter was a relief appearance against San Diego 5 days ago. Got one out, hit a batter, gave up a run on a hit, and was called for a balk over 11 pitches. An eventful outing, even though it was a short one, just 1/3 of an inning. They're going to try to backpick to second with Walls back in head first, or standing in safely, rather. Joey does run well, but in this situation, not going to try to stretch that lead out. With a 2-1 count to Murphy with 2 outs and a 3-3 ball game. So the right-hander takes the side from the catcher, Ayers. Looks to second with nobody covering. Instead deals to the plate. 2-1 pitch is ripped but pulled foul. As Murphy was ahead of that breaking pitch, and the count all square, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a couple of outs in the home half of the first.
Matt, in the few games that I've been able to, watch this UNLV baseball team, I'm just so impressed, just 1 through 9, how it's just everybody, everybody that comes up to bat, you feel like they're going to have a big time hit.
It's a next man up mentality for sure, as Murphy watches the pitch outside to load the count. Especially with the triumvirate of shortstops, Murphy, Horvat, and Andrade, who was excellent last night, all kind of profiling similarly. Braden the only left-handed bat among them, but they've all done a very, very serviceable job at filling in when they've earned the playing time.
Yeah, Jordan Andrade, a really good series against San Jose State, has earned himself a lot of playing time at short.
3-2 payoff pitch, chopped to the right side. Cole Roberts, the second baseman, gloves the chopper at the chest and throws to first. But Joey Walls gets the Rebels back even, coming up with the bases loaded and 1 down. He's able to clear the bases on a 3-run triple. And with that, we're back where we started. All tied up, 3-3 the score when we return for the top of the second inning. UNLV Baseball brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare, here to be a part of your Las Vegas life, and more importantly, here to help you live an even healthier one. Intermountain Healthcare, official healthcare partner of UNLV Athletics. Jimmy Gamboa set to take the hill in the top of the second inning. Gamboa in relief of Nolan George, who went 1 inning on 17 pitches. Gamboa, who threw yesterday, deals a first pitch strike into the right-handed batting first baseman Dylan Dennis. Dennis followed by Grunberg and Roberts at the bottom third of the Loyola Marymount lineup. Coming after the Rebels were able to plate 3 runs on just 2 hits in the home half of the first inning to knot the score up at 3 runs apiece. Gamboa missing inside to Dennis to even the count up in 1-1. Dennis, the first baseman from the right side, hitting .258 on the year. Gamboa deals out of the full windup and spots a fastball low in the zone for a called strike 2. Gamboa threw 12 pitches, 10 strikes yesterday. Got through the 6th inning, allowing 2 inherited runs to score before allowing 1 charge to him. Right-hander's 1-2 pitch is popped up right side. That'll fade into foul territory and drop on the warning track for a foul ball. Gamboa, the 6'2" right-handed junior, transfer from Pima Community College. Originally a Las Vegas native after spending his 2019 season at the College of Southern Nevada. Former teammates with Joey Walls. Gamboa's 1-2 offering. Swung on and fouled back into the seats once again down the right field side. So the final line for George in 1 inning of work. 3 runs all earned on 2 hits, no walks, a couple of strikeouts, 17 pitches, 12 of which were for strikes. So if nothing else, he did light up the zone. And he'll leave with a no decision. Here's another 1-2 from Jimmy. And it's another foul ball pushed down the right field line. So the bullpen day, likely for both teams, Wyatt, with Gamboa coming in the second. Kokodinsky needing 29 pitches to get through the first. And in his first start of the year, that's not a recipe for a long outing.
Yeah, usually, if you see a one game on a Tuesday, you might see, the number 4 hole starters. That's a nice pitch there by Gamboa.
Gamboa freezes Dennis on a called strike 3 and a backwards K for the first out of the second.
But obviously now Monday, Tuesday wasn't really that much of a rest after that San Jose State series. I think UNLV's just kind of, all right, let's get some guys, some reps that didn't get to pitch a lot in San Jose State, which was surprising me when I was looking at it. They gave up a lot of runs, Matt, but not a lot of pitchers were used in that San Jose State series.
Squaring to bunt is the right fielder Ben Grunberg, as he'll drop a foul ball back to the screen on the bunt attempt. Yesterday it was Nick Rupp wearing it in the 9th inning. Charged with 9 runs, although just 2 of them earned after an early error in the inning off the bat of Dylan Dennis. But with this game in mind and the taxed bullpen in mind, he really didn't go to the pen. As this one's hit well out to left. Austin Krizik just in front of the track, stops, reaches up, makes the grab. So far, so good for Gamboa in the second. 2 up and 2 down with Cole Roberts stepping in, the son of Dodgers manager Dave Roberts.
Cole Roberts.
I thought you were going to give me a dig about your Dodgers beating my Braves yesterday.
I don't know the Dodgers. Not yet, at least.
Okay.
Well, in that game, Freddie Freeman with his
I knew he was
first Dodger home run against his former team.
I knew that was going to
He got the standing ovation last week on the ground rule double. I'm surprised there wasn't seismic activity as Roberts swings and lines one to left center. Racing back is Charles. He's not going to get it as it takes 3 hops and bounces to the wall. Roberts zooming around first into second with a 2-out stand-up double, his 3rd 2-bagger of the year.
Yeah, good contact there against Gamboa. Jimmy really thought that he was going to have an opportunity to, get a 1-2-3 inning there. And, for Loyola Marymount, what you want to do with a pitching staff that's struggling, keep putting pressure on them at any time. Either with 2 outs and runner on second, you feel UNLV might have a good chance of getting out of this inning, still put that pressure on them.
So Roberts in scoring position in a 3-3 ball game. We're back at the top of the lineup. It's Devin Ornelas, the center fielder, in from the left. Watch a first pitch down for a called ball. Ornelas was hit by the first pitch he saw back in the first inning. As George allowed 3 total base runners on. They all came around to score in the first inning. 1-0 is grounded to first. Down to a knee to grab it is Hank Zeisler. He'll stick up the hand to call off the pitcher Gamboa and run to first base himself on a 3 unassisted ground out to end the 4-batter second. See if Gamboa can stretch it out to multiple innings, and the Rebels sending Eric Bajani to bat when we return in a 3-3 ball game.
I like to.
Back with the bottom of inning number 2 from Earl E. Wilson Stadium, along with Wyatt Tomczyk, Matt Neverett joining you, with Eric Bajani, Santino Panaro, and Rylan Charles, the first 3 batters up against Mason Kokodinsky, right-handed starter in his second inning of work. Bajani in from the right, came in as a pinch hitter last night, struck out in his first 2 at-bats before grounding out in the 9th inning. He swings and misses at a first pitch, breaking ball moving away. Bajani, who has played in every game this year, starting for just the 32nd time. 271 average and 6 home runs for the California kid. Takes the fastball outside. Call for a strike by our home plate umpire, Timothy Resch. Bajani quickly behind 0-2. And it was Gavin Mez getting the start behind the dish. Finished 0 for 2 with a pair of infield groundouts before Bajani pinch hit for him. Bij starts to go around, able to hold up on the check swing. A good watch off the arm of Mason Kokodinsky, who was anywhere from 82 to 87 on the fastball in the first inning. He's into the 30s in the pitch count already, with a right-hander up behind him in the pen. 2-strike pitch is hit in the air to center field. Going back is Ornelas. Center fielder still on the move. Looks up at the warning track, and this one's gone. Eric Bajani with the second home run of the game, the first for the Rebels, and his 7th long ball of the year gives UNLV their first lead.
Like we said, Matt, in the top of the first inning when Loyola Marymount got a home run, get that ball up into the jet stream. You know, the wind is really blowing hard. Straightaway center field. Where have we seen both home runs today, Matt? Straightaway center field.
Just hitting it up into the howling wind, and that'll end it for Kokodinsky. Kershaw sprinting in from the bullpen and left. And Eric Bajani has bounced the Loyola Marymount starter from the ballgame. First batter Kershaw will face will be Santino Panaro. He'll do it when we return. We'll step aside for the pitching change in a 4-3 ball game here at Earl E. Wilson. Sophomore right-hander Connor Kershaw into the game, the Newbury Park, California native, up against Santino Panaro. Rebels designated hitter batting at the bottom of the lineup today. Looking to follow up the long ball. Straightaway center field off the bat of Eric Bajani that put the Rebels on top 4-3. His sidewinding righty Kershaw misses outside. No relation to Clayton. Santino, 356 average through 20 starts on the year. Doesn't have a home run yet, but has driven in 14, including 4 doubles. Takes a pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes. They do call that one a strike, so a 1-1 count to Panaro. And the final line for Kokodinsky, an inning plus, didn't record an out in the second. About 4 runs all earned on just 3 hits, including the Bajani long ball. As Panaro fights this one off the hands and shoots it straight back to the screen. Kokodinsky walked a batter, struck out a batter, and hit a batter. Over his 33 pitches, 19 for strikes. If the score holds, he is on the hook for the loss. Kershaw, 17 in the 3rd innings this year. Struck out 10, walked 8 while allowing 33 hits. So bounce one into Santino Panaro. Count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Panaro in the loss yesterday was 1 of 5. An RBI single in the 6th inning, part of a 4-run 6th. That was followed by a 4-run 7th. It was the 9-run top of the 9th for Loyola Marymount. That was too much to overcome. Panaro watches all the way on a pitch that bounces off the mid of the catcher Ayers. So the count goes full at 3-2 with the leadoff batter Rylan Charles awaiting on deck.
Yeah, Santino has really had a very impressive freshman year, Matt. I mean, the big-time hit in the Saturday win against San Jose State that tied the game up in the bottom of the 8th. He's come up in some big-time moments.
Kershaw rocks and deals on 3-2. Panaro hits this one the other way in the air into shallow left center field. Heading over to try to grab it is Weiss. Left fielder won't get there in time as Panaro records the 4th hit of the game for UNLV, welcoming Kershaw into the game with a little dunker into left center field. So all of a sudden, an insurance run on base for the Rebels as Rylan Charles digs in from the left for the 2nd time. He singled right back up the middle to lead off the game and was brought around on the bases clearing double from Walls. So as we were saying in the 1st inning that a 3-run deficit feels like nothing, all of a sudden the Rebels looking to add on to a lead. Funny how this game, especially at the college level, can turn so quickly. As Charles takes a fastball up and away for strike 1.
Yeah, just in a blink of an eye, and it just goes to show, you look at it for UNLV, Matt. I wanted to mention for Eric Bajani, he's technically the worst hitter, average-wise in this UNLV lineup. He just hit a bomb. He's hitting about 270, 273 after that home run. That's scary how put that stat line there for Bajani. We know how well he's been over the last couple of years. If he really picks it up, I mean, where are you going to find an out 1 through 9?
This is a team that entering into this series was number 1 in the country in batting average, number 1 in hits, number 1 in doubles, 3rd in runs per game, and 4th in on-base percentage. There's no gaps in this offense for UNLV. Charles, among the nation's leader in a couple of statistical categories, watches as the snap throw goes down to first. Panaro back in head first and safely.
And then you got this weekend, UNLV will be facing off against New Mexico. That was a series UNLV absolutely dominated the Lobos on the road. The last game, that UNLV put up 27 points. Be good for any football team. 27 points, 27 runs.
That's a football score.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2 to Charles. That fastball's outside. A good 0-2 waste pitch as Kershaw trying to get the leadoff batter to stretch the zone, but Charles doesn't oblige. Count 1-2 to Rylan, whose hit in the 1st inning was his 60th of the year. Through his first at-bat of his 38th game. That's a pretty good mark. This one's pulled well foul, but Charles got all of that one. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. And you were talking about Darian Williams being a skilled hitter earlier. Rylan Charles, a guy as well that has been sharpied into the top of the lineup because of his ability to go the other way when needed. 1-2 pitch way outside. Catcher Ayers jumping to the left to keep it in front. As you mentioned earlier, a lot of these Rebel hitters work long at bats. There's no easy outs, both in the statistical categories and just in the battles, the wars between pitcher and catcher.
Yeah, Kershaw was up in the count 0-2. It looked like he was going to get an easy out there.
Runner breaks from first. Charles grounds it to the left side. A hit and run executed to perfection with Panaro rounding second, heading to third. Charles heads for second. The throw goes to the cutoff man as Charles grabs an extra bag on the infield single. That's how you run a hit and run. You get the middle infielders out of position and then hit it in the vacated hole. You see on the replay that Charles didn't try to do too much. That pitch outside on 2 strikes, just pushed it where it was pitched and heads up base running by both him and Panaro.
Yeah, that was it should have been an easy 6-4-3 double play, and Charles is able to leg that one out for a double. Like you said, that was executed perfectly.
So Charles to second. Here's Austin Krizik. As Krizik watches a fastball at the letters. Charles should be given credit for a double there, as that throw was not intending to throw anybody out. It was just a lazy play by the left fielder Weiss. So that'll be the 14th double on the year for Rylan Charles. Krizik's got 17. He popped out in the 1st inning to right field. As he drives this one in the air to right again. On a line, it's grabbed by Grunberg. Tagging up at both bases are Panaro and Charles, with Santino scoring. And Ryland Charles advancing to third. It's now a 5-3 lead for UNLV. It's great base running there with the runner on third. Anything in the air, you're tagging up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you never know. Obviously, with this wind, the throw from the outfield could go God knows where. But that was all set up there by that hit and run. And heads up base running there by Ryland Charles to be able to tag here to third. UNLV has another opportunity to get another run here with only one out in the inning.
So it's Alarcon batting with one out and a runner on third base. Diego walked back in the first inning on 4 pitches. He takes another ball as he hasn't seen anything to hit as of yet. He's typically a very aggressive swinger. He's walked more than he's struck out on the year, though. He does a great job of putting the ball in play. 20 strikeouts to 19 walks. Other way around, 20 walks to 19 strikeouts as he fouls the first pitch straight back. Both Alarcon and Zeisler, guys who really trust their hands. They don't try to do too much. They have such good power numbers because they're just such big, strong guys. Here's the 1-1 from Ryan Kershaw. The right-hander's fastball misses outside to Diego Alarcon, who was first in the Mountain West in runs scored and second in the country before yesterday's game. He scored 3 separate times. 55 runs scored on the year for Alarcon, a number that's going to lead the nation heading into the weekend. He swings late on the fastball as Kershaw pushes one by him for strike 2.
Yeah, you look at it, Matt, in this lineup, 1 through 6, all have scored over 50 runs this year.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong stat line. 2 of them have.
Hey, that's still pretty good. And they all will be over 50 by the end of the year, the way that they're hitting. Alarcon reaches on a fastball out of the zone, goes for strike 3. It's the first strikeout for Kershaw. Second strikeout for Rebels hitters on the day. That puts the second out on the board in the second inning, and it'll bring up Hank Zeisler, who was hit by a pitch in the left foot last time up.
Also give tip of the cap to Zeisler there, Matt. Scoring from first to third, we saw him. It was not an easy walk there to first after getting hit by a pitch, and he was able to kind of power his way through there to home.
Zeisler from the left, Kershaw from the right with 2 down. First pitch fades away. Arm side run on the changeup from Kershaw, missing outside for a called ball 1. It's Ryland Charles off third. He doubled, shallow to left center field. Turned a base hit into a double with some aggressive base running. Zeisler was watching all the way, takes that pitch on the outer third for a called strike 1. Zeisler was hit by a pitch earlier, the 10th time he's been hit by a pitch on the year. Only Ryland Charles has been hit more. Here's the 1-1. He watches that pitch outside, a called strike by Timothy Resch, the home plate umpire. He's been consistent so far, giving that outside edge to the left-handed batter.
You'll see here with Zeisler, obviously we mentioned great hitter, not only against righties but also lefties. 1-2 the count. See if Hank can get something up in the air and it will land.
Here's the pitch. It's tapped straight back to the screen, so Hank will get to try it again. With Joey Walls awaiting on deck. He cleared the bases on a double in his last time up. They'd love to bring him up here in the second.
We'll say I've been very impressed with Hank Zeisler this year. I mean, obviously the big question mark for UNLV in the lineup from last year to this year was replacing Jack Thomas Wold, and Hank Zeisler has taken the baton and run very far with it.
Backs away from that pitch high and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. With the Rebels leading by 2 here in the second. Deuces wild for Zeisler. They both profile similar. They both are similar hitters. They're bigger guys, but run pretty well for their size. And I was looking up some Jack Thomas Walt's stats. He's with Low A St. Lucie in the Mets organization this year. I almost called Hank Jack Thomas yesterday. How about that? As Zeisler hit by a pitch again. That one looked like it got him on the hip, and a much swifter jog down to first. That one didn't do as much damage, but a tough day at the yard for Zeisler already, as he's been hit by a pitch twice in 2 innings.
Matt, I mentioned that he got hit by a pitch twice against San Jose State. That reaction was about the same as he did on Saturday. I don't know. I'm sorry, Mr. Zeisler. Every time I seem to call your games, you're getting drilled by a fastball.
You've heard of being a ball magnet, but I don't know about being a magnet for somebody else. Wyatt Tomczyk, Hank Zeisler's ball magnet. As Joey Walls stands in with runners in the corners and 2 down in a 5-3 game. Walls watches the first pitch at the Lenners. That's called for a strike. Joey with a double to left center field in his last time up. RBIs number 37, 8, and 9 on his 52nd hit and his national leading 20th double. No one in the country has more twin hits than Joey Walls. He'll take outside.
And we mentioned, Matt, this weekend UNLV will be facing off against New Mexico. The Lobos do not want to see Joey Walls. I do not expect they're going to give him anything to hit because if you remember, he won National Player of the Week after batting 700. I can't do that in a video game.
Here's the 1-1. Walls lifts this pitch in the air to shallow right. Heading back is the second baseman Roberts. Heading in is the right fielder Grunberg. It'll be Grunberg to make the catch, with the Rebels adding on in the home half of the second inning. Eric Bajani with the long ball. And Austin Krizik driving in Santino Panaro from third on a sacrifice fly. Overall, 2-run score on 3 hits in the home half of the second. And we're on to the third, with the Rebels leading Loyola Marymount 5-3. Parkway Tavern, official partner of UNLV Athletics and your official home of Rebels on the Road, is the official sponsor of UNLV Baseball with over 250 beers, 24/7 gaming, and 6 Valley locations. There's no better place to catch the game than Parkway Tavern. Jimmy Gamboa back out for his second inning of work. Deals high and inside to the right-handed hitting shortstop Benny Casillas. UNLV with 5 runs on 5 hits. Loyola Marymount with 3 on 3, respectively. Casillas struck out swinging in the first inning. Swings and misses over strike 1 here to even the count up at a ball and a strike. Nolan George went an inning, gave up 3 runs, left with a no decision after the Rebels matched it in the bottom of the first inning offensively. Casillas ground one to the left side. Diving is Alarcon. Third baseman won't get it as Casillas rolls one through the infield for his 32nd hit of the year. That'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Diego Baquero, as Gamboa was looking to stretch it out. He threw 12 pitches yesterday, and that last pitch was his 14th. So with the bullpen rather taxed, Gamboa being asked to go back-to-back. There is a right-hander up and tossing in the right field bullpen for UNLV, as it looks like Connor Woods is starting to get loose.
Yeah, Gamboa's longest outings, tied twice, 3 innings, Michigan State and San Jose State this year.
So he is a guy that can stretch it out when needed, as he deals a fastball over the heart of the plate to Baquero, who singled home Morales from second base in the first inning.
Now, Matt, I want to ask you, I mentioned in the beginning was, kind of the alarm for UNLV was really a high amount of runs that the pitching staff was giving up. What have you seen that's been kind of getting away from them?
That pitch misses outside. It's been a mixed bag, honestly, because last night with Nick Rupp, it was just base hit after base hit after base hit, and none of them were particularly hard. Loyola Marymount just kind of taking, I guess, what the hard-throwing lefty was giving them. It's just a matter of having a couple of guys that you can turn to in a high-leverage situation. No one's really broken out in that category yet, as Baquero swings and misses over the high fastball to move the count 1-2. The thing is, though, traditionally, throughout the year, it's been Nick Rupp and Hayden Neerman at the back of the bullpen. They've been shut down. Neerman was good yesterday, spreading out 2 hits over an inning in the third, but stranding everybody on base, and then just a blow-up game for Rupp. It does happen every now and then, no matter how good you are on the mound. Here's Gamboa's 1-2. Curveball swung on and missed for strike 3. That thing had some extra movement on it as Baquero set down on strikes. It's the second punch out for Gamboa. It's the first out of the third inning.
Yeah, really liking Gamboa here on the mound. I think what he's doing really well is keeping the ball out of the jet stream. We've seen 2 home runs go to straightaway center field where the wind is going. You know, can you be a ground ball pitcher in this situation?
One of those home runs off the bat of the man standing in as we speak. Grant Weiss took Nolan George deep to center field. He checks the swing, rolls one to the first base side, grabbed by the second baseman Williams. He throws to first, forcing Zeisler to stretch down the line, but it'll go as a 4-3 ground out on the scorebook on an excuse-me check swing. It's a good way to get Weiss out following the home run in his first time up.
I think Weiss is going to say that was a planned sacrifice squeeze. I just wanted to trick him there.
He does the job by moving Casillas up to second base. And that'll bring up Liam Critchett, the only other left-handed batter other than the leadoff man Ornelas in the lineup. Critchett hit the fly ball to left that was pushed back into fair ground by the wind, and Krizik made a nice sliding grab in fair territory. Critchett watching a first pitch slider over the outside for a called strike. And Critchett starting for just the 4th time on the year. Sophomore out of Redondo Beach, California. Watches as Gamboa comes set. He'll turn and fire to the plate, breaking a pitch into the dirt, blocked by Bajani for a called ball 1.
As you mentioned, you know, these midweek series, obviously you want to get some guys some opportunities to play, get them some playing experience, because you never know, hey, when you're going to be called up and we need you in big conference games.
Gamboa misses outside. A good arm side run on the fastball, but he cut it too far away. So the count goes to 2-1 with a runner on second and 2 down. Gamboa faced 4 batters in the second. He'll try to face 4 again here in the third. Would need to retire Critchett to do so. Brings the light tan glove in front of the face as he comes set. His 2-1 offering. Just outside. Starting to go around was Critchett, but he was able to hold up on the check swing. Critchett came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning last night. Scored Ornelas from second on his first hit and only at bat of the game. Critchett was removed for a pinch hitter next time up. He swings and hits a tap shot off the end of the bat into foul territory down the third base line. The swinging bunt touched up by Eric Bajani in foul ground for strike 2. So that'll load the count at 3-2 with the catcher Robbie Ayers awaiting on deck. Gamboa will try to face him in the 4th. Infield deep, outfield straight up. A step back with the wind, still rip-roaring to center field. Here's the 3-2 payoff, way down and outside. Gamboa missed badly for the first walk that the right-handers issued. That'll send Critchett to first and bring up Ayers with runners on first and second. The force play active anywhere around the infield.
Yeah, good eye there by Critchett there on that bat. Obviously, you saw that Gamboa was trying to get that outside, hit that outside part of the zone. Critchett realized, you know, Jimmy wasn't hitting those spots. He was very patient, was able to draw a 2-out walk here. Put the pressure on this UNLV pitching staff. That's kind of the key for Loyola Marymount. Put runners on the base paths.
Ayers takes a big hack but can't catch up to the fastball from Gamboa. As the count goes 0-1. Gamboa, in his first 2 innings of work, sitting between 86 and 90 on the radar gun. Hard thrower likely in his final inning of work with the right-hander Woods behind him warming up in the pen. A 1 fastball right down the chute. Watching all the way was Ayers on that fastball sitting middle. So now Gamboa with plenty of room to work with. He can throw anything he wants here on 0-2.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe an off-speed pitch away. We saw a beautiful curveball that he threw earlier in the ballgame. We'll see if he gets him to chase.
Here's the pitch. A line drive out to center field. Charles can't get it as it drops in front. Rounding third, heading to the plate is Casillas. Throw is cut off by the shortstop Murphy. And Loyola Marymount back within a run as Casillas touches it up. It's a 5-4 lead now. UNLV still on top by 1.
Now you saw there, Matt, you know, it was the off-speed pitch, but that ball had too much elevation on that in the zone. That one for Gamboa, he wanted that one low and in the dirt to make it a nasty pitch, but just left it up there in the zone, and it was a base hit for Loyola Marymount.
And pitching coaches absolutely despise hits on 0-2, so Gamboa definitely going to be hearing about that one. Dylan Dennis struck out looking back in the second. He'll look at a called first strike on a breaking ball, so Gamboa going back-to-back with the spinning pitches. Dennis watched a fastball at the knees that froze him. It was the first batter that Gamboa faced. He reached back for a little something extra fresh out of the pen. There's a heater here. It goes down and outside, nicely dotted. And the lower part of the strike zone, it's called for strike 2 quickly. So here's another 0-2 count. We'll see if Gamboa is anywhere near the strike zone. I would venture to say no.
We'll see if he tries to throw that off-speed pitch there again. Maybe try to make up for that last base hit he gave up.
0-2 pitch. Swung on, lined into center field. This one's hanging up there for Charles as the center fielder is able to track it down in the gap. A run on 2 hits with a couple of runners left on. Loyola Marymount scores 1, but still trail 5-4. And the Rebels due up in the bottom of the third, and we return in a 5-4 game. Back at Earl E. Wilson Stadium, along with Wyatt Tomczyk, Matt Neverett joining you for the second game of a 2-game midweek non-conference set between UNLV and Loyola Marymount. Rebels with 5 runs on 5 hits. Loyola Marymount a matching 5 hits, but they've only plated 4 runs, including Robbie Ayers with an RBI single in the top half of the third. Darian Williams in from the right to kick off the bottom of inning number 3. Second frame of work for Clayton Kershaw begins with a fastball swung on and missed as Williams saw it out of the hand, but it was back by the knee. Nothing he could do with it as he came up empty. Darian struck out swinging against Mason Kokodinsky in the first. So we'll take another fastball. This one called for a strike. As the count's 0-2 to Williams, who's followed by Braden Murphy, his double play partner up the middle, and Eric Bajani, who homered in the second. Give you Kokodinsky's final line in a moment. As reliever Kershaw deals out of the full line. A breaking pitch that Williams started to go around on, but was able to hold up on the check swing. Kokodinsky's final line, 4 runs all earned over 3 hits. Made it through an inning, but didn't record an out in the second. Walked a batter, struck out a batter. He's in line for the loss. Williams takes another breaking ball. This one down low. Kershaw with some violent break on that slider from the sidearm angle.
Here's another example of UNLV battling back. There was an 0-2 count there for Darian Williams. Got it right now even, 2-2.
E takes another breaking ball outside. That one probably the easiest to watch out of all 3. So now the count full, and yeah, we've been talking about it all game, just the fact that the Rebels are able to work so many long counts, drive up the pitch counts, especially once they get into the bullpen. They've absolutely crushed opposing bullpens. So here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Williams swings and rolls one foul down the third base side. Just inside the third base coach, associate head coach, Kevin Higgins. Williams with a team-leading 51 home runs, or 51 RBIs, I should say, on 8 home runs. Yeah, that's a lot of home runs in a 50-game season.
Hey, watch out, Barry Bonds. Somebody's coming after your record.
But still, 51 RBIs in 37 games heading into the day, nothing to scoff at. Second in the Mountain West. As he swings and hits one on the ground to short. Charging is Casillas. Shortstop doesn't field it cleanly as Darian Williams reaches on an error by Casillas. There's something to be said about putting the ball in play, and Williams does that very often. He hit that one hard. Casillas did the right thing by trying to charge, but could have had time to set the feet. Tried to field it sidecar left and throw it off the foot, but didn't field it cleanly. You got to do first things first.
Yeah, rushed it there over at short, but give credit to Darian Williams. I mean, you know, I mentioned, I've said it a little bit before, is, you know, to avoid the strikeouts, so you got to put the ball in play. You never know what's going to happen. And Darian right there, down 0-2, fights his way back to get the count full. You know, good contact on the grounder. Hey, guy bobbles it. Look, you're over at first. Great at bat there by Darian Williams.
Especially for a guy that runs well and is ultra aggressive on the base paths. Stolen 5 bases, a number that's second on the team behind Charles. In from the left is Braden Murphy. After taking a called ball one, he swings at a pitch up and out of the zone for strike one. Murphy grounded out to second to end the 7-batter first inning. And again, has been a great addition into the middle infield. Runner breaks from first as the catcher Ayers trips. His knee pad looked like he got slid around and he stepped on the foot guard while trying to cross home plate. So Williams swipes his 6th bag in 6 tries. That was a unfortunate happenstance for the freshman Ayers.
Hey, don't see that very often. It was either that or I was kind of looking. The shortstop had a late break to second. I don't know, maybe if that also made him kind of double clutch as well.
Yeah, the leg guard ended up on the back of the leg once he got up. That foot guard flopping around. As Murphy pops it straight up behind the plate. Ayers loses the mask. Catcher called off by the third baseman Baquero, who gloves it at the belt. That thing nearly dropped, but instead Murphy pops out to the third baseman in foul territory. Always easier for the infielder to come in and the catcher to go out, as we saw earlier.
Yeah, I like that there by Baquero, the third baseman. They're calling off Ayers, the catcher. Like, look, I got a better look on this. You're twirling around with that wind, just blowing just all different directions. Nice play there.
But especially after Ayers had struggled with the gear on that stolen base attempt. And take the guesswork out of it if you're Baquero, and he did for the first out. Williams in scoring position for Eric Bajani, who homered to straightaway center. His 7th long ball of the year was his 35th RBI in the solo shot. Takes that pitch outside for a called strike from Kershaw. Bajani, the veteran backstop, was a semifinalist a year ago, one of the final 14 candidates in the running for the Buster Posey Award for the nation's top catcher. He swings and hits this one in the air to shallow right field. Heading back is the second baseman Roberts. Still heading back on a back pedal, reaches up and makes the catch over the head. And that one very nearly dropped with Roberts sprinting on a back pedal.
And we mentioned, though, this wind is terrible. You put something up in the air, it's an adventure for everybody defensively. I saw it in the game against San Jose State last Saturday. There were a couple times the Spartans had balls just bounce off their gloves, land in between them. There was just the communication wasn't great, and they just lost it in the wind.
So that's the second out of inning number 3 with the Rebels still on top 5-4. Santino Panaro batting with Williams on second. Taking a first pitch slider off the back of the hip, called for ball 1. Panaro singled in the second, was brought around on the Austin Krizik sacrifice fly. Most recent Rebel to score. UNLV's had runners on in every inning. As Panaro hits this one the other way on the ground, gloved by the shortstop Casillas. Throw high, but grabbed at first by Dylan Dennis, and the Rebels strand a runner on. Nothing on no base hits, 1 error and 1 man left on, and with that we played 3 innings full. The score, UNLV 5, Loyola Marymount 4.
We just trying to catch a good time.
The Hustlin' Rebels of UNLV lead the Lions of Loyola Marymount by a 5-4 score. As we're into the middle innings in the top of the fourth. UNLV 5 runs on 5 hits. They've been clean defensively so far, 4-5-1. The line score going from left to right for Loyola Marymount. It'll be a new arm atop the hill for UNLV as we enter in to the top of the fourth inning. Veteran right-hander Connor Woods in behind Jimmy Gamboa. Woods wearing number 44, listed at 6 feet, 210 pounds. A Tempe, Arizona native in behind Gamboa, who gave up 1 run. It was earned on 3 hits over 2 innings of work. 1 walk and a couple of strikeouts, but with the bats backing him up, if the score holds, Gamboa on the hook for UNLV. First batter that Woods will face will be Ben Grunberg, as the right fielder in from the right side takes a first pitch inside. Grunberg, the outfielder, flied out to Krizik in left field for the second out of the 4-batter second inning. Meanwhile, Woods gets him to swing and hit one in the air to center field here. Going back is Charles, center fielder at the track, on the move, reaches up to make the grab. Degree of difficulty jacked up way high on that one with the wind pushing that line drive further towards the fence.
Yeah, you want to go straight away center field if you want to get the power today. Nice job there by Rylan Charles there on the run. That's a difficult catch, obviously with the wind. Good start here for Connor Woods, who's looking to bounce back after a couple tough outings.
Yeah, Woods tagged for 4 runs, 3 earned in just a third of an inning over the weekend. He also was knocked around against Nevada, 8 runs on 6 hits over 2 1/3. Other than those 2 outings, he's been pretty good throughout the year. As Cole Roberts takes a called strike 1. Roberts doubled to left center field, his only other plate appearance in the second inning. As he lines this one to right center field, as that'll drop and split the outfielders. Rolling all the way to the fence as Roberts rounds first, heads to second, slams on the brakes as he gets to second base. He'll be content with his second 2-bagger of the day, doubling his doubles total from 2 on the year to 4 coming out of his second at bat. Just a great piece of hitting to take that pitch the other way.
Yeah, nice job there of splitting the gaps, really putting the pressure on a pitcher for UNLV that has struggled over his last couple outings, and it's a tying run at the plate. You know, Loyola Marymount's had a good couple games here against UNLV hitting-wise, and like I said, the way these 2 teams are hitting and the way the wind is going, no lead is safe.
And that was the case last night. With the Rebels watching Loyola Marymount score 2 in the first inning. They'd match them by the 6th inning. Both teams played at 4 runs in the 6th, UNLV with another 4 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th, but the 9-run 9th inning, too much to overcome. Here's the leadoff man, Devin Ordalis, who pops the first pitch straight up. And with Charles charging, no tag at the runner second base from Roberts. As Ryling gloves it, you could see the wind moving that thing around in midair. We are not exaggerating this wind.
Yeah, it is. It is just straightaway center. I gotta think it's been gusting maybe over 30 miles an hour there. But good job there by Charles, who's kind of setting himself up. He didn't overrun it. He just kind of waited till he got a good read on the ball and made an easy catch there in center.
One thing about baseball is that you become an amateur meteorologist by default. That is a fact of the game. As Benny Casillas stands in with 2 outs. Shortstop takes the first pitch fastball for a strike.
And I think this is a big inning, Matt, for Connor Woods. You know, we talk about it for hitters in a slump. You just want to see one get in the outfield, get a base hit. For Woods here, get me 3 outs at the 0 spot. Get me back on my rhythm.
Right-hander deals out of the stretch and misses high. And with nobody behind him in the pen as of now, Woods, just like Gamboa ahead of him, likely going to be asked to go multiple innings. Roberts with a big leadoff second, checked by Darian Williams. Woods looks in that direction, deals to the plate on 1-1. He'll miss down and outside as Bajani stabs at it on a backhand effort. So 2 flyouts to center. And a line drive double to the fence and right center for Roberts. The 3 batters thus far for Woods. Casillas singled to lead off the third and scored after striking out in the first against George. So he chops this one foul down the third base side. We mentioned those last 2 outings for Woods. Prior to that, in 6 outings before, he hadn't given up more than a run, and on 3 of those occasions had been almost perfect.
Yeah, you go back to that San Diego State game on March 12th, 4 innings of work, didn't give up a hit, and had 4 strikeouts.
Gets a rollover grounder off the bat of Casillas. Charging is Murphy, has to be quick to the bag at first. Instead, he puts it in the pocket. With that one rolling very slowly, and Casillas running pretty well. And it was a smart move by Murphy, who didn't look like he had clean footwork either. Just a weird scenario all around on the infield base hit.
Yeah, you know, obviously, if you don't feel comfortable, you know, as an infielder throwing the ball, don't force it. You know, you keep that runner at third. You still got the lead, and hopefully Connor Woods has something here that can get the runner out.
Looking to retire Diego Baquero to set the side down in the fourth, with Roberts advancing to third and Casillas on first with 2 down. First pitch swing and a line drive to right center that'll fall in front of Walls, scoring Roberts from third, and we're tied up at 5. So Roberts' double becomes a major factor here in the 4th inning, and that'll remove Jimmy Gamboa from the pitcher of record as this game will be in the hands of deeper bullpen arms, with Casillas moving to second. Baquero with his second RBI single of the day. Numbers 43 and 44. 2 on and 2 down for Grant Weiss, who homered in the first. Gamboa got him to ground out to second in the 3rd inning. So he takes a first pitch slider, nicely placed for Woods. Started up and maybe a bit inside, cut all the way across the zone for a strike.
And now you look at it, Matt, talk about it for pitching, to be able to build up that consistency. Obviously they've been in a rut. Another game now that they've blown a lead.
Weiss skies one to center. On his horse is Charles. He slows up, stops, reaches up on the warning track, and makes the grab. Rylan Charles records all 3 putouts in the 4th inning, but 1 run scoring on 3 hits with 2 men left on base, and we're all tied up at 5. Rebels will send Rylan Charles to lead off in the top, or make it the bottom of the 4th inning when we return to Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Rylan Charles set to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's been a back-and-forth affair. We're all tied at 5 between Loyola Marymount and UNLV. Here in the 52nd all-time matchup between the teams. Loyola Marymount with the win last night. They dropped UNLV's all-time advantage to 31-20 versus Loyola Marymount. Top of the order to get it going against Connor Kershaw in his 3rd inning of work. The side-winding right-hander. It's a line drive off the bat of the left-handed hitting Charles. A foul ball down the 3rd base side will start us off in the bottom of the 4th inning. Wyatt Tomczyk along with Matt Neverett. And Charles recorded all 3 outs in the 4th inning. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a double so far, already having a great day at the yard. He swings over this pitch, diving towards the back foot for strike 2.
Also been, we saw there in the top of this inning, great defensively. Obviously, the win, it's not easy out there in center field, and Charles made it look relatively smooth.
And last one off the bat of Weiss nearly left the yard for the 2nd time in the game, as Charles takes a bouncing ball on a breaking pitch. Rylan led the bottom of the first off with a single, came around to score on the bases clearing double by Walls. He then doubled in the 2nd. That was big because it moved Panaro from 1st to 3rd, with Santino scoring on an Austin Krizik sac fly. Charles hits this one well to center field. Going back is Ornelas. Center fielder at the track. He reaches up at the wall, not going to get it. It takes a bounce off the outfield wall. Charles rounding second, zooming to 3rd. The throw from Roberts is not in time. It'll be a leadoff triple for Rylan Charles. He has singled, doubled, and tripled in order as he gets the go-ahead run and 90 feet away from scoring with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th.
That's a center field on center field crime there, as Charles said to the center fielder. You know what, I'm going to have you deal with the problems that I had to deal with there in the top of the inning.
Let somebody else deal with it. As Ornelas very nearly tracked that down. He got a glove on it, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like it was in the mid there. I don't know if the contact with the wall knocked the ball out.
Absolutely. That's what it looked like from our vantage point. Of course, we are over 400 feet away with the wall 400 feet to straightaway center. Here's Austin Krizik from the right. He'll look to drive something in the air. That first pitch goes way outside. Dennis, first baseman, way off the line. The third baseman, Baquero, shaded deep as well.
And it shows here in a blink of an eye, this UNLV offense, after giving up that run there in the top of the fourth, they have a chance here to take the lead, 2 batters in.
Here's the 1-0 to Chris, who swings, unloads on one to center. Ornelas back again. Center fielder's going to turn around and watch it go over the batter's eye. A long ball home run for Austin Krizik gives UNLV the lead yet again. It's 7-5. He smoked that thing over the batter's eye and straight away center field. His 7th home run of the year is the 7th run of the game for the Rebels.
Now all 3 home runs in this ballgame for both teams have been to straightaway dead center field where the wind is blowing. And like I said, Matt, this offense, I mean, it's just scary, scary good. 2 batters, UNLV retakes the lead and up by 2.
They didn't waste any time. Triple followed by a home run, and brings up Diego Alarcon, representing an insurance run all of a sudden. Diego's 0 for 1. Take a fastball outside. Rylan Charles with a leadoff triple. How about it? A single, a double, and a triple in his first 3 at-bats. He's got an opportunity for the natural cycle in his next time up. Of course, would need a home run. And it was a home run that drove him in as Diego Alarcon swings and misses. It was funny entering into yesterday. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6 batters for UNLV. Alarcon, Zeisler, Walls, and Williams all entered with 7 home runs. 3 of the 4 hit long balls in yesterday's loss. As Diego takes outside. Alarcon's home run was the first hit of the game for UNLV in the 4th inning. So Austin Krizik right behind the trio of 8 homer hitters in Alarcon, Zeisler, and Williams. With Joey Walls also clubbing 7. A nice watch there by Diego as he started to go around, was able to hold up on a check swing as the count goes to 2-2 against him. He's walked and struck out so far and scored a run. Here's Kershaw's 2-2. Alarcon does a good job by just throwing the hands at it and fouls it off down the first base side. And nobody up behind Connor Woods in the right field bullpen for UNLV, so he'll likely get the 5th. And no action as of yet, but there are a couple of bodies milling about in the Loyola Marymount bullpen down the third base line. Alarcon takes well outside, and he's worked himself a full count.
And Matt, this is one reason why I've been so impressed with this UNLV lineup. They can hit for power. A lot of guys can really mash the ball, but they can also hit for contact as well. They win against San Jose State, scored 12 runs without having the ball leave the yard.
Rebels among the nation's leaders in on-base percentage. As Alarcon swings and rolls one up the middle for a base hit. Case in point right there. And I think with the 2-strike approach being even more important in today's game, where everybody's just trying to hit home runs, it's a real strength for UNLV. When they get to 2 strikes, they don't try and do too much. Take it where it's pitched, in that case low and over the heart of the plate. As he put a sting on it, but it was on the ground right back up the middle.
I love it. You know, take what the pitcher's giving it to you. You're not going to be able to hit a home run every at bat. If you are, you're going to be the greatest player of all time. It's not going to happen. Take what they're giving to you. Right there, pitch inside. Diego sends it right back up the middle.
That's just a good job of keeping the hands inside. As Hank Zeisler swings to the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Zeisler is having about the toughest day of anybody at the yard for the Rebels. And normally when you say that, it means that they are not hitting the ball. The issue for Zeisler is that the ball has hit him twice.
I think if he gets hit by a pitch here, I don't think he's sending any Christmas cards to Loyola Marymount.
As that pitch is away from him, so they're not going inside. That pitch is called for ball 1. Zeisler's been hit by both Kokodinsky and Kershaw, so it's not like one guy has a beef. It was just 2 pitches inside. Of course, the second one got him on the hip. Didn't look like it stung quite as much. And they're working away from the left-handed batter yet again as that pitch is called for ball 2.
Yeah, the first one got him right on the foot, and you saw him really hobbling over to first. We mentioned that said give him the tip of the cap that he was able to score from first to home on a double there with a really bruised up foot.
Here's the 2-1. On the outer third, called for a strike. Kershaw coming in through the back door on the slider. Good piece of pitching to Hank Zeisler, who, after spending 4 years at Division III Chapman, has been tearing it up in his first and only season at UNLV. He swings and just makes contacts here, knocking it straight back to the screen.
And then that's another thing that's crazy to me. A really, really cool story for Hank Zeisler. You make the jump from D3 to D1 at a very competitive Mountain West, and you are hitting, coming into this this weekend, 412. Like, wow.
He was a career .334 batter at the Division III level over 4 years at Chapman in Southern California. Outpacing himself in year one here as he hits this one well to left field. Going back is Weiss. Left fielder's going to watch it fly. It's another Hank Zeisler home run, his second in as many days, and the Rebels now lead 9-5. Eerily identical to his homer yesterday. Only difference is we knew this one was gone off the bat. That thing was absolutely mashed.
Opposite field power there for Hank Zeisler. Continues his torrid senior year campaign here at UNLV and making the most out of his opportunities. He has been really, I mean, you know, it's hard to pick a team MVP, but I think I would give it to Hank Zeisler.
Zeisler and Walls making a serious case in the 4 and 5 holes. So here's Joey with nobody out and nobody on. The first 4 batters have all reached and scored as he swings to the first pitch and pops it up. It's on the right side of the infield. Battling with the wind is the second baseman Roberts. He was zigzagging in and out, and at the last second sprung out towards the outfield to make the catch to retire Walls for the second time.
Yeah, it's the second time that Roberts over there at second has made some real difficult plays there with the wind, so give credit to him.
Sixth batter of the inning is Darian Williams, with the leadoff man Rylan Charles getting it going with the triple. Krizik homered behind him. Alarcon then singled up the middle, and Zeisler homered behind him. That out on the pop out was the first of the 4th inning. Brings up Darian Williams. Watches a first pitch strike from Kershaw.
I got to ask, Matt, what would you set the over-under on total runs when UNLV travels to Air Force next weekend?
Oh, man, they're averaging 9.6 per game coming into the weekend as Darian Williams unloads on one, pops it sky high but playable to left. With Grant Weiss settling underneath, left fielder makes the grab. I would venture to say maybe 15 or 16 total runs, as the Rebels are going to score at least 9, as they have right here today, and they're already about at their season average in the bottom of their 4th at bat.
Yeah, I mean, you get a team like this to go up in the elevation. I've seen some nasty scores up in Air Force, but this one, it might be very interesting to watch.
Left-handed hitting Braden Murphy watches a first pitch fastball inside. He's nothing for 2. That Air Force team is a tricky one, though, because they do have good pitching. Paul Skeen's a name that immediately comes to mind. The 6'8" first baseman / pitcher who does a great job. Was on the collegiate national team representing the United States in the World Championships last summer. Here's the 1-1 to Murphy. He swings, drives this one well to right. Going back is Grunberg. It sneaks over the fence. It's the 3rd home run of the year for Braden Murphy. It's the 3rd home run of the 4th inning. And don't look, now the Rebels doubling up the Lions 10-5.
Blink of an eye with this offense here. They have now scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, all via the long ball. Very impressive here for UNLV. And like I said, 1 through 9, they got so much great power and pop in the bats.
That was one that would have been gone with no wind. That thing was a line drive screamer. Great piece of hitting for Murphy, who knew it was gone off the bat.
That always helps out on the calls when you know the batter knows that it's gone as well.
Makes us look good. Eric Bajani in from the right will take a first pitch moving away from him for a called strike. Bajani homered in the 2nd. Followed up by a pop out to Roberts, one of those tough plays that you had mentioned for the second baseman earlier. That was in the 3rd as he hits this one well to left field. Spinning around, losing it in the wind is Grant Weiss as it skips over the left fielder's head. It'll find its way to the fence. Bajani scurrying into second base. His 11th double of the year is his 2nd extra base hit of the day. And the hit parade continues in the 4th inning. Santino Panaro will stand in as the 9th batter of the 4th inning.
Yeah, Weiss out there in left field did not get a great jump at all. He thought that was going to stay on a line right to him. The wind picked it up and drove it over his head. He just didn't take the factor of the wind there out in left field.
It looked like a free safety in football getting turned back and forth by Peyton Manning looking him off. As Panaro swings to the first pitch, rolls it to the right side. Backhand grab made by the first baseman, Dennis. He'll make the underhand flip to the hustling pitcher, Connor Kershaw. But the damage done in a major way. UNLV scoring 5 runs on 6 hits, including 3 long balls. 2-run shots by Austin Krizik and Hank Zeisler, followed by a solo home run by Braden Murphy. A line drive screaming to right. And after 4 innings of play, the Rebels' offensive barrage leading LMU 10-5. Rebel Baseball brought to you by Findlay Chevrolet, located in the Southwest at 215 and South Rainbow. Nevada's #1 Chevy volume dealership. Frankly, we're customer driven. 10-5, UNLV on top of Loyola Marymount. Second inning of work for Connor Woods begins against Liam Critchett, the left-handed batting DH, and it'll begin with a fastball call for a strike. And Woods pitching in his second inning of work with as much run support as any pitcher could ask for. The Rebels mashing the ball in the bottom of the fourth inning. Woods gets ahead of Critchett on another fastball, 0-2. 5 runs on 6 hits, including half of them for home runs. Also featured a Ryland Charles leadoff triple, a Diego Alarcon single, and an Eric Bajani double. As Woods takes the 0-2 pitch off the outside to Critchett, who walked in his last time up and flied out to left in the first. Woods from the full wind. Misses up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You mentioned for Connor Woods, 5 runs to work with here, but this is an inning here for him to get the confidence back up. Got to put a 0 spot on the board here.
1-2 pitch, pops straight back. For Woods and any pitcher, after your bats give you a big-time inning, you love to go out there and shove. Keep the momentum on your favor, especially in a game and a 2-game series so far that's been teeter-tottering back and forth like a seesaw. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Critchett down on strikes. It's the first punch out for Woods and a big-time first out of the 5th inning. Retiring the leadoff batter is also a major way to get that started.
That's right. Good confidence boost there for Connor Woods. Good pitch there to get the swing and a miss.
1 out, nobody on for Robbie Ayers, who drove in a run on a single in the 3rd and struck out swinging to end the 1st. It's a line drive over the head of the second baseman in the shallow right. Ayers with another multi-hit game. Entered the series with 1 hit and 13 at-bats. He's got 4 hits in the last 2 days alone. As it does set up a double play possibility with Woods facing off against Dylan Dennis.
This has been kind of a situation, Matt, as I mentioned, over the last 8 games for UNLV, they've built up some sizable leads, and they just have not been able to hold on. I mean, we've seen years past for head coach Stan Stolte, some really, really good offenses. Oof, that ball's hit high and deep.
Dennis crashes this one out to left field. Krizik at the track. It's off the top of the wall. Rounding second, heading to third is Ayers. He'll get the stop sign there as the throw goes into Braden Murphy. It'll be a double off the top of the wall for Dennis. I'm with you, White. I thought that one had a chance off the bat.
That is where the high walls come to help UNLV. It robbed them, I believe. I can't remember who hit it.
It was Walls.
Walls, that's right.
Bases loaded, yeah.
Bases loaded. Where the wall, was not the friendly recipient to him. If that was a little bit lower, hey, grand slam. Here it keeps the ball in the ballpark. So what we do know is, we've said it a couple times in our games previous that we've called, is that when you hit a home run here, it is a legit home run at Earl E. Wilson Stadium.
There are no cheapies here, especially 335 down both lines. Noah Beal getting loose in the UNLV bullpen, and Corey Vanderhook, the pitching coach, out to have a word with Woods on top of the mound.
But like I was mentioning, I've seen in years past for UNLV under Stan Stolte, they've had some just nasty offensive performances. Some really, really good players. You see Bryson Stott, who is with the Phillies right now, making his major league debut a couple weeks ago. Kyle Isbell getting up in the majors with the Royals. But the problem was that the pitching just could not match up with the hitting, and you're not going to win very many games having to score double-digit runs every time.
It's a good, card to have in the back pocket. They do have that prolific offense, but at a certain point, you're going to need to have a pitcher go out there and shove, 7+ innings of 2-run ball, which they have not been able to get more often than not. The bullpen being taxed here in the early week. So that's the first mound visit used. Here's Ben Grunberg, the right fielder. First pitch outside, called for a ball. Grunberg 0 for 2 with a pair of pop-outs. And with the wind still going very, very strong out to center, literally rocking the flagpole back and forth. Grunberg almost left the yard on a line drive in the 4th inning. He swings and lines one to right center field. That'll fall for a base hit. Charging his Walls, the right fielder grabs and fires to the cutoff man, Zeisler. But the run scores from third as Ayers touches it up. UNLV still leading, but the deficit cut now at 10-6.
And frustrating there for Connor Woods. Started really good here in the top of the 6th inning, or top of the 5th, my apologies, with a strikeout. And then you get two singles and now a double, and looks like we're going to have a pitching change here.
Yeah, that'll do it with Beal ready to go, warming up rapidly down the first base side. Here comes the manager, Stan Stolte. He's going to go to the bullpen after 3 straight hits against Woods in the 5th inning. So an inning and a third, 2 runs on a total of 6 hits thus far for Connor Woods. Can't close the book on him yet. Beal will try to retire the side in the top of the 5th. We'll step aside for the pitching change with the Rebels on top 10-6. Spoke too soon. It's Troy Balco, big-bodied right-hander out of Peoria, Arizona, into the game to try to limit the damage to a run on 3 hits in the 5th inning. Connor Woods leaves after giving up 6 hits after an inning and a third. 2 runs, both charged to him so far. And Dylan Dennis will start on third base. Ben Grunberg, after an RBI single, will be on first with 1 down in a 10-6 ball game. Balco wearing number 12 up against the number 9 hitter, Cole Roberts, who's doubled twice, both times off of Gambo. Balco try to limit the damage to a single run here in the 5th inning. Right-hander working out of the stretch, comes set at the belt. Rocks and fires, first pitch to Roberts, drops in for a strike. Nice snapping curveball over the inner third. 24 pitches for Connor Woods, 18 of them for strikes. One thing's for sure, Wyatt, you cannot say the Rebels pitching have not thrown strikes today.
Yeah, I mean, just give credit to Loyola and Marymount. They've been hitting the ball well in this series against UNLV. They're making UNLV pay.
Roberts takes inside, evening up the count at a ball and a strike. Balco 1-2 with a 5.93 ERA. He's been back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen. 12 prior appearances, including 5 starts. He's lasted 30 1/3 innings. Roberts rolls over on a breaking ball. Foul ball on the ground makes it 1-2. Balco has struck out 24, walked 12 in a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Although the issue for him has been the opponent batting average against, coming in at .352. He's been hit around. Ball's been put in play against him, although he's been outstanding in his last 3 outings in order. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Big breaking ball that stays high. Count all square at 2.
Yeah, he was a big reason why UNLV was able to get the sweep against San Jose State. Was impressive out of the pen. 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits. A run that was a 2-out home run in the top of the 9th after I jinxed him and said, yeah, he's been doing good out of the pen, but was able to get the win.
As Roberts pops this one up down the right field side. Heading out is the second baseman Williams. Heading in is the right fielder Walls. It drops between them. Joey can't get it with Dennis scoring from third. It'll be a 90-foot advancement from Ben Grunberg. So it's now a 10-7 ball game. And just judging by Walls' reaction, I don't think he had that one at all. I don't think he knew where it was off the bat.
Yeah, he looked like he was almost like the sun was in his eyes. Obviously, we've got a little bit overcast there, but did not see it there off the bat, and it's a tough there for Darian Williams going out into the medium outfield there with the wind blowing from right to left. So an adventure out there in the outfield. It happened for Loyola Marymount. Now it's happening here for UNLV.
It's the 3rd hit of the game for Cole Roberts. It's his 12th RBI of the year. Evan Ornalis, the center fielder, watches a first pitch breaking ball in for a strike. He's been hit by a pitch, grounded out to first, and he flied out to center in the 4th inning. Frame in which Ryland Charles recorded all 3 putouts. 2 on, 1 down. Balco looking for a ground ball. That's how you do it. You deal the fastball low and outside, but it was watched by Ornelas as the count goes 0-2. That run charged to Connor Woods. An inherited runner given up by Balco. So as of now, Woods with 3 runs all earned allowed on the ledger. Grunberg off second, the final batter he faced. Here's the 0-2. As Balco looks to second. Now to the dish. Ground ball right side. Takes a big hop and hits it Darian Williams in the face. This one's going to roll out into shallow right field with 1 run scoring. Williams popping up, but he's in some serious pain.
That's a
that one took a massive bounce on him.
Yeah, ugly bounce there for Darian Williams, who took that one right to the face. He had the glove set down in. I mean, it was bouncing on the ground, and it just went quickly off that hop there right to the face. And hopefully Darian is okay. It's a nasty-looking play there for UNLV.
Yeah, they're out taking a look at him. In shallow right center is Williams. Instead of looking for that tailor-made double play ball, they take the huge bounce at the last moment, and they're not going to take any chances. They're going to walk him over to the first base dugout.
And we'll see here on the instant replay. I mean, it looked like this was going to be inning double play, and that ball came quickly up in the face area there of a Darian Williams.
So it's Gianni Horvat emerging from the first base dugout. Looks like they're going to slide him into the second base hole with Braden Murphy maybe sliding to second. We'll see where they end up lining up. Right now, Murphy warming up in front of second base.
Yeah, Darian going to the baseball clubhouse there. So it's a tough one there for UNLV, Matt. Obviously, you lose a very sure-handed, not only hitter, but also defender in a Darian Williams. Just great all-around player.
So it'll be Murphy sliding to second, Gianni Horvat into shortstop. Horvat, the true freshman, started the year at short.
Now at second base,
Hampered by a hamstring injury. He's back fully healthy, we're told, so he's inserted into a Darian Williams 6 hole in the lineup. As the run scores from second base, Roberts up to third, with Ornelas ending up at second base. First pitch from Balco into Benny Casillas.
Yeah, and also another tough thing here, Matt, after UNLV got 5 in the bottom of the 4th, 3 already here for Loyola Marymount, when the time runs in scoring position here with only 1 out.
Breaking pitch for Balco's, another called strike. Quickly 0-2 to Benny Casillas. And that'll close the book on Connor Woods, who's tabbed with 4 runs, all earned on 6 hits. With the score 10-8, Loyola Marymount fighting back. Casillas backs away from a breaking pitch inside. Good 0-2 waste as he tried to drop it in through the front door. So the final line for Woods, 4 runs all earned on 6 hits over an inning and a third. Didn't walk anybody. And recorded a strikeout over 24 pitches, 18 for strikes. And leave in line for the win as this one's lined out to second. Grabbed by Braden Murphy, who throws sidearm to first. It's not picked out at first by Zeisler. So another run scores as Roberts touches it up, and it's now a 10-9 ball game. E4 likely the ruling.
That's a tough. It's interesting how the baseball works there. You get, obviously unfortunate play to a Darian Williams. Well, first batter there gets a ground ball there to second, new second baseman for UNLV, and results in an error.
And there are major differences as far as moving from shortstop to second base. Each middle infield position has their own subtleties and differences. Murphy was kind of fading away on the throw. As Diego Baquero takes a called strike one. Balco with a couple of defensive misplays behind him. One ruled a double, one ruled an error. Just trying to keep the Rebels in the lead. Get them up in the bottom of the 5th inning with the top of their lineup 2 up yet again. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch, hammered in the air to left. Going back is Krizik. He's at the track. He's at the wall. He reaches up to make the catch for the second out. Tagging up and scoring from third base is going to be Devin Ornelas. The throw goes to first with Casillas just barely sliding in feet first and safely. But we were saying earlier, and we've been saying it all day, no lead is safe as we're tied at 10.
5 runs for UNLV there in the bottom of the 4th. Now 5 here for Loyola Marymount. And really unfortunate there for Troy Balco on the mound. Yeah, that little pop-up in the shallow right field, Joey Wall's going to come up with it. The unfortunate hop, air there at second. He's gotten the results off the end of the bat that you would expect to get the outs and get out of the inning. Just hasn't resulted for UNLV.
Grant Weiss, the 9th batter of the inning, takes low.
And you know, we've mentioned we were talking about it before the game. It's, man, when UNLV gets errors in an inning, it really starts to unravel for them.
Working out of the stretch with the runner on first base. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. Great block by Bajani, who was down to the knees to knock it down. Weiss, left fielder, homered in the first. One of the shots to straightaway center field. Also grounded out in the third and popped out to straightaway center to end the 4th inning. Right on right matchup with the runner on first and 2 down. Goes with the curveball on 2-0 as Balco freezes Weiss, watching a called strike all the way. Got to have supreme confidence in your breaking pitch to throw it on a 2-0 count like that.
High risk, high reward. You got to go for it here for Balco. You know, obviously now 10-all here. Just got to find a way to get a strike.
Casillas off of first. 2-1 pitch fisted straight back to the screen off the bat of Weiss. And Balco 1 pitch away if he can either get a 3rd strike past Weiss or get him to drive something to an infielder. I want him to drive anything in the air here. With the score in the balance at 10-all. 10 runs on 13 hits for Loyola Marymount, 10 on 11 for UNLV. Here's the 2-2. It's swung on, popped straight back. That'll find the seats and keep the count all square at deuces. Rebels sent 9 batters to the plate rather in the bottom of the 4th. Beginning at the top of their lineup, they scored 5 runs. This is the 9th batter of the 5th inning, in which Loyola Marymount scored a matching 5 runs. Here's another 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, pulled foul down the third base side, just past assistant coach Tony Asaro, coaching with the jacket on in the third base box. So long at bat worked here by Weiss. As Woods will just try to get out of dodge here in the 5th inning. 5 runs on 5 hits and 1 error behind him. He's set, he rocks, he fires. This one's chopped straight down. Great job of staying alive there by Weiss as Balco went back to the heater. Waiting on deck is the DH, Liam Critchett. No action in the UNLV bullpen down the right field side. Couple of bodies up and moving with a right-hander tossing as we speak for Loyola Marymount. Here we go again, let's try it, a 2-2 offering. Another ground ball pulled foul down the third base side, and Weiss, no matter what the result of the at-bat is, worked a long one against Troy Balco.
I'm liking this battle here between Balco and Weiss. Obviously, you know, you want to put the pressure, like I said, on this UNLV pitching staff, and throwing a lot of pitches now here for Balco against Weiss.
Balco takes the sign from Bajani. Catcher sets up inside. Fastball goes too far inside and hits Weiss on the hip. So 1 strike away, and Balco hits Weiss to extend the 5th inning. 10th batter is Liam Critchett. He led the inning off with a strikeout. It felt like about a half hour ago.
And when he came out to bat, you know, it was 10-5. UNLV had all the momentum. And, you know, you give credit to Loyola Marymount fighting back. Never say die, you know, mentality. You never know what's going to happen. They were able to take advantage of the mistakes that UNLV's had defensively and some unfortunate plays.
Critchett swings at the first pitch and unloads on one, but he pulled it way fouled on the right field side. We were talking after the Critchett strikeout how important it was going to be for Troy Balco to try to establish himself in the 2nd inning of work. And
well, actually, Connor Woods.
Yeah, about how important it was. It was Woods that started out. It was after the Grunberg single that Balco was lifted, but the point remains that it's going to be important for them to go quickly through the 5th. And that has not been the case, and we're tied up with 2 down and an 0-1 pitch upcoming. Here it is from Balco. Down and in, blocked by Bajani, who's as adept as anybody in the country at keeping it in front of him.
And you've looked at it, Matt, the leads. Loyola Marymount was up 3-0, blew that lead. UNLV was up by 2, blew that lead. Then they're up by 5 and blow that lead. No lead is safe here with these 2 teams playing right now.
2 on, 2 down in a 10-10 game. Here's the pitch. Outside, Balco fades a changeup away from the left-handed batting Critchett. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout sandwiched around a 3rd inning walk. It was the only free pass issued by Jimmy Gamboa and UNLV pitching in general. They hit 2 batters, but that's a different category. It's the breaking ball tumbles through the top of the zone. Great movement there from Balco to bring the count even at 2. He hasn't been afraid to throw that pitch at any count.
liking it, liking being aggressive there. We'll see if he'll try to double up there.
See what he comes with here on 2-2. The pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Charles back. Center fielder still on the move. Slows up, stops in the warning track, dead in his tracks, and reaches up to make the grab. He'll end the 10-batter fifth inning after Loyola Marymount plates 5 runs on 5 hits with 2 runners left on base. With that, we've played half a ball game, 20 combined runs thus far. Ryland Charles to lead it off when we return in a 10-10 ball game. 10-10 the score between UNLV and Loyola Marymount, with both sides trading 5 spots. UNLV 5 runs on 6 hits in the bottom of the 4th, 5 runs on 5 hits and a sacrifice fly in the top of the 5th inning for Loyola Marymount, who's been extremely plucky in this midweek non-conference set. And both teams have had to mount some major comebacks. And the Rebels batting in the bottom of the 5th, rather. The score tied, and this is an important at-bat for Ryland Charles. I'll tell you why in a moment. Connor Kershaw begins his 4th inning of work with a pitch outside. For Ryland Charles today, 3 for 3 with a single, a double, and a triple in that order. So take the 1-0 drifting changeup outside yet again. And on 2-0, Wyatt, he's going to be looking for a fastball here to try to complete the natural cycle.
Wants to hit it. He's aiming center field, straightaway center field here.
That's been the money spot today. Here's the 2-0. He swings, lines one through the right side of the infield, so not quite the natural cycle with the home run in the 4th at-bat, but he'll take it with his 4th hit of the day, leading the team and the conference with 63 hits. He's among the national leaders as well. And that batting average taking a severe, and I mean crazy, spike. Came into the game hitting .358. He's 4 for 4. Now looks like it'll be the end of the line for Connor Kershaw after 75 pitches. It will be as a right-hander jogs in from the bullpen.
I was going to say, we were talking about, very surprised that Kershaw was able to come back out for another inning after getting hit hard there in the bottom of the 4th. One batter, and his leash has been pulled.
Yeah, it took him 72 pitches to get through 3 innings. Gives up a hit in the first batter he faces, as it'll be number 20, Matt McClure, out of the bullpen. 6'6" right-hander into the game. We'll step aside for the pitching change as well, with the Rebels batting with the go-ahead run on base. 6'6" right-hander Matt McClure into the ball game. The lanky sophomore out of Rancho Santa Margarita, California, up against Austin Krizik with Rylan Charles on first after singling against Connor Kershaw. 10-10 the score between UNLV and Loyola Marymount. McClure set and firing, missing up and away on the first pitch to Austin Krizik, who homered to straightaway center in his last time up. For McClure on the year, a 3-4 record, and this is his first outing out of the bullpen. 9 prior appearances, all starts, an 8.27 ERA over 41 in the third innings. As Krizik hits this one well in the air to left field. Heading back towards the track is the left fielder Weiss, still drifting back, still on the move. He runs out of room as it sneaks over the fence. And a 2-run home run for Austin Krizik has the Rebels on top yet again.
I'm sorry, there is no way on a regular windy, no wind day that ball's going out. That ball looked like it was going to go about 3/4 of the way, but that wind just kept carrying and carrying. Austin Krizik's probably got a big smile on his face and said, hey, just get it in the air, guys. What an at-bat there for Austin. Congrats on another home run.
And that one looked like a lazy fly ball to left that just kind of kept moving, and it surprised the left fielder Weiss. It looked like he's hobbled after running into the fence pretty quickly.
Yeah, he had a really bad limp there. He crashed into the wall and he was trying to walk it off here. Now it looks like the training staff's coming out to look at him. I think he was just kind of in that same spot. It's like, there's no way this ball's going. There's no way he's going, and he just ran into the wall there.
Yeah, the trainer jogging out. It's just a quick conversation with Weiss shaking him off. And prior to the Diego Alarcon at bat, he'll have a long layoff before stepping in. Alarcon is 1 of 2 with a single in the fourth. Struck out swinging in the second, walked and scored in the first. So entered the day with 55 runs scored on the year, now at 57 through his 3 at-bats prior. For Austin Krizik, that was his 8th home run of the year as McClure misses inside. So not only does that put UNLV on top 12-10, that puts Connor Kershaw as the pitcher of record, as the go-ahead run was Charles, who scored first before Krizik touched it up. As Alarcon goes the other way in a line drive, that thing will split the outfielders and roll all the way to the fence. Alarcon rounding first, sauntering into second with a no-out stand-up double here in the 5th, and the Rebels picking up where they left off in the 4th inning with Charles, Krizik, and Alarcon all reaching, and it'll be Hank Zeisler looking to recreate his home run from the 4th inning.
Like we mentioned, Matt, blink of an eye, this UNLV offense. I mean, you got to score 2 runs here. You got a runner on second, nobody out. I mean, it's scary how quickly they can score and how many runs they can score in an inning.
McClure's allowed 7 home runs on the year, a number that's tied for the most among LMU pitchers. Zeisler is 1 of 1 after being hit by a pitch twice. He swings and fouls it into his own leg.
He's going to want an asterisk there on the last home run, though. He wants to say, put the weather report on that one.
I think he's, on that Krizik bomb that just cleared the fence and left. Yeah, again, that was one off the bat. I don't know about you. I did not think it was gone.
I thought Krizik really got underneath this. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in medium left field.
One changeup's way outside, and typically you'll judge it by the reaction of the outfielder. If the outfielder turns and is on a full sprint back to the fence, you know he thinks he has a chance. On that one, Weiss just kind of kept drifting back with the glove reached up. It looked like he had it tracked, and that ball dropped about a foot over the fence. As Zeisler swings, hits one well in the air to right center field. Going back, this one's with some pop. It's off the base of the wall. Rounding third, heading to the plate is Diego Alarcon, with Hank Zeisler driving him in on his 2nd extra base hit of the day, his 12th double of the year, has it a 13-10 UNLV advantage.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're a fan of long balls, this is the game for you today here, Matt. I mean, your scorebook's going to be real interesting here, these 2 games for UNLV and Loyola Marymount. Did you have to go to the second page from yesterday?
No, not yesterday. The one that I'm looking back on is the Saturday game of the Nevada series.
Yeah.
That was the 22-13 final. Here's Joey Walls, who can definitely leave the yard. He's already cleared the bases on a triple.
Yeah, you sent me the photo of it, and it just gave me my eyes got hurt.
Yeah, the 22-13 game that took 4.5 hours on Saturday the 9th between Nevada and UNLV.
Those are the games you wish you get paid by the hour.
Get paid by the pitch in those games. 1-0 pitch is bouncing in there for a called ball. Walls Double to clear the bases in the first, flied out deep to right in the second, and popped out to second in the fourth. McClure comes set. So the right-hander looks to second and deals. Walls fouls one down the first base side, so we'll get to try that one again, this time with a 2-1 count against him. McClure coming in had given up 6 home runs over 41 in the third innings. 2 of the 3 runs charged to him. We're still with no outs and 3 runs across with Zeisler off second base. Joey Walls takes a fastball out, called for a ball. It'll be Gianni Horvat awaiting on deck, emerging when Darian Williams took the ground ball off the face. McClure looks to second, now to the dish as Walls lifts the hands over. A fastball called for a strike, and Walls disagrees.
Well, I thought that actually, yeah, I agree with Joey. It looked like it hit his jersey.
Instead, the count goes full at 3-2. McClure, the herky-jerky righty, comes set. Here's the payoff pitch. Down and inside. There's ball 4. I guess all's well that ends well for Joey Walls, who reaches for the second time today. Runners on first and second with no outs for Gianni Horvat, his first at-bat of the day.
It'll be interesting to see here now with Gianni Horvat getting an opportunity to hit. This might be an opportunity here for Loyola Marymount, try to steal an out with somebody who hasn't had, still kind of warming themselves up off the bench.
Horvat, wearing number 3, the 5'11 freshman out of Valencia, California. The SoCal kid takes a fastball for a strike. Williams will finish his day 0 for 3 at the plate. Reached in the third inning on an error by the shortstop Casillas and stole his 6th base of the year. Horvat hitting just .205 through 13 prior outings. His true freshman season. Swings here, unloads on one to right center field. That'll drop for a hit. Zeisler gets the stop sign at third. It'll be the 6th consecutive Rebel to reach without recording an out in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Welcome back to Gianni Horvat, who knocks his 10th hit of the year. And that'll put the bases full for Braden Murphy, who hit a home run in his last time up on a screamer that cleared the fence and right.
Matt, this is just one of those games where anybody and everybody's going to get a hit. And looking at the lineup, the only 2 guys that haven't got a hit for either team, Darian Williams and Critchett, who are currently right now 0 for 6 of Darian, unfortunately out of the game. But, man, everybody just seeing the ball well today.
Murphy swings early on the changeup. One was pulled the string. McClure yanking it back as Murphy set down 0-1. Braden's also grounded out to second and popped out on the third base side. It was the third baseman Baquero grabbing it in foul territory. Hits it off the end of the bat straight down, and count quickly 0-2 to the Rebels' second baseman. Murphy moving from short to second with Gianni Horvat sliding in. And we were talking about the trio of shortstops for the UNLV Rebels this year with Horvat and Murphy. Also Jordan Andrade, who started yesterday and was excellent. They've got a couple of good hitters, and see how it goes the rest of the way out. And hopefully it's not a serious injury to a Darian Williams, but it's a rare instance where if it is, they are well equipped to slide somebody to second, in this case Murphy, and fill in adequately at the plate as well as in the field.
Yeah, I got to think if the Darian's unable to go for the New Mexico series, that you'll see Jordan Andrade start all 3 games there at short.
Here's the 1-2. Murphy swings, hits one up the middle. In and out of the glove of the second baseman Roberts. His throw to first in time. But the runner scoring from third is Hank Zeisler. It's now a 14-10 lead with the Rebels scoring 4 runs before their first out of the 5th inning.
Yeah, that's an adventure there for that first out there. Unfortunately, Cole Roberts there at second. That bounced off his glove. That was a very, very close play. I thought Murphy had beaten that one out.
I think Murphy did too. But it'll go as
He'll take an RBI ground out.
Yeah, ground out to second. RBI number 2 on the day, number 18 on the year for him. Moves Walls to third. Horvat to second. Brings up Eric Bajani with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 down in a 4-run ball game.
That's what you say. What'd you do on your last at-bat? I got an RBI.
They don't need to know what else. As Bajani fouls it straight back. Bajani's got an RBI today on a solo home run that cleared the fence in center. His first at-bat ended in the long ball. He's popped out to Roberts at second since then and doubled in his last time up in the 4th inning. It's just the second time in 4 at-bats that he's hit with runners on. Bajani outstanding in last year's performances with runners on base. He swings and rolls one over to the shortstop. Casillas grabs it on the backhand. His only throw is going to be to first. It's in time, but Walls breaking on contact on the sharp ground ball will score easily from third. Second straight inning in which the Rebels have scored 5 runs, so they now lead 15-10. So heading into the bottom of the fourth, they were trailing 10-5, and it's now 15-10.
I mean, touchdown on a field goal, it might do it here for the Rebels. You would hope that now with this 5-run lead yet again that the bullpen can kind of close the door down and slow down this Loyola Marymount team. But good at bats there by Bajani and Braden Murphy here. Hey, ground balls, go station to station, get those RBI groundouts, get as many runs as you can.
Here's Santino Pinaro, the number 9 batter, batting 9th in the inning for the second straight frame. So take a bouncing ball. In fact, it's the 3rd straight at bat in which he's hit with 2 outs. Began his day with a single up the middle. He was brought around on a Austin Krizik sac fly. He's grounded out twice since then. Takes that pitch low, maybe a bit inside to move the count to 2 balls, no strikes. Doesn't look like there's anybody up behind Troy Balco in the UNLV bullpen. See if they are going to send him out there for the top half of the 6th. Matt McClure on the mound set. Here's the righties 2-0. Left-handed hitting Pinaro takes down and away. Great piece of vision there to watch that pitch for a called ball 3. And very unlikely to take the bat off the shoulder here with Ryland Charles, the leadoff batter of both the lineup and the inning, waiting on deck. 15 runs on 16 hits through 4 2/3 for UNLV. Watching all the way on 3-0. McClure brings one right down Broadway for a called strike, but Pinaro's still well ahead in the hitter's count. Looking for a fastball to yank up into that jet stream.
I mean, it's really blowing now.
Yeah, looking at that outfield, they're all shaded, especially deep. Back pick goes to second. Diving back in head first and safely is Horvat. He saw that one early with the shortstop Casillas trying to sneak in behind him. So 2 outs with 5 runs across in the inning. 5 hits and a pair of RBI groundouts. 3-1 fastball called for a strike to Pinaro, who was ready to flip the bat back in there, but Pinaro's got to stay in and see another one as the count goes full. Eerily similar to what happened to Joey Walls in his at-bat. Of course, Walls took ball 4 on the next pitch. Let's see what McClure comes with on 3-2. He's set. A look to second. He'll deal to the plate as Pinaro fights one off. Shoots it foul and out of plate on the third base side. Rebels up on the top of the infield first base dugout. You're watching as the 3-2 pitch is incoming to Pinaro. Here it is. He swings and hits one in the air down the left field side. Headed into the corner is Grant Weiss. He won't get it as it drops in fair territory. Horvat scoring from second, sliding in with a 2-out RBI double is Santino Pinaro. And UNLV with a 16-10 lead. And that's another one, Wyatt, that looked like it was started in fair ground and then hooked its way into fair territory.
Second time that great play that Austin Krizik made earlier in the ball game. I looked like off the end of the bat there. I'm like, all right, this is a foul ball. I don't think the left field is going to get to it. And all of a sudden you look and, oh, shoot, that landed in fair territory.
So the top 6 Rebel batters reach and score in order. Pinaro on second. Ryland Charles set to make his second at bat of the inning. He singled and scored to lead it off. His first pitch is inside. Ryland Charles 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored. He's singled twice, he's doubled, and he's tripled. 16 runs on 17 hits for UNLV. This bouncing ball is watched by Charles. The count 2-0. If I'm UNLV with McClure dealing a ton of balls here and a lefty in the bullpen behind him getting loose, I'm taking a strike if I'm Ryland Charles here. Make him come to you more than once. Here's the 2-0. Charles instead swings, lines one through the left side of the infield. Getting the wave to the plate is Pinaro. Here comes the throw from the left fielder Weiss. It's cut off, and sliding in safely is the Rebel DH. It's a 17-10 lead, a 7 spot. The extra point is good in the bottom of the 5th.
How about Ryland Charles today, Matt? 5 for 5. I mean, you're having yourself a player of the week game really just here today. I mean, Charles has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it has been impressive for this UNLV team. Looks like we're going to get another pitching change here for Loyola Marymount.
That'll do it for McClure as the southpaw comes jogging in from the left field side. I'll get you the numbers on McClure as well as the name and the number on the left-hander coming out of the Loyola Marymount bullpen. We'll step aside for the pitching change here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Rylan Charles bounced Matt McClure from the game. It'll be the left-hander Colby Schiffer in. Wearing number 19, the 6'5", 205-pound sophomore out of San Clemente, California, up against Austin Krizik in a 17-10 ball game. UNLV on top in the bottom of the fifth. Krizik takes a first pitch curveball from Schiffer with Charles on first and 2 outs. 7 runs on 8 hits here in the 5th inning, with Rylan Charles clubbing his 5th hit in 5 at-bats, bouncing his 2nd straight bullpen arm. As Krizik fouls this one down the third base side, count nothing in 2. 3 singles, a double, and a triple. Pretty good day at the yard for Rylan Charles.
It's been amazing. We've seen 18 runs in the last 2 innings, and we're not even done yet.
Austin Krizik with a pair of home runs today, numbers 7 and 8. He's done it in his last 2 at-bats, including the first batter that Matt McClure faced in the 5th. As Schiffer misses high. SoCal left-hander staying close to home for college. Pitching in just his 3rd game of the year. Ending in 2/3 prior, 16.2 the ERA for the lefty. He'll miss way high with the curveball. He has not had good feel for that breaking pitch since joining the game. 2-ball, 2-strike count to Krizik, who has 4 RBIs today. Only non-productive at bat was a fly out to right in the 1st inning. Left on right matchup with 2 down. Krizik goes down for this pitch and shoots it into the seats down the first baseline. There is a right-hander up for UNLV in the bullpen while we're looking in that direction. Now it's Noah Beal getting loose, wearing number 32. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kriz, with the left-hander Schiffer dealing. Fastball low, called for ball 3. Waiting on deck is Diego Alarcon, who's 2 for 3 on the day. Every Rebel has scored a run. At least 1 run, with Alarcon and Zeisler scoring 3 times each. Runner breaks from first. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Krizik hammers this one to left. Did he do it again? Yes, he did. Off the scoreboard, a 3-peat for Austin Krizik. His 3rd home run in as many at-bats, and the Rebels dominating in the middle innings, leading 19-10. What a day for Krizik.
Well, I was saying Ryan Charles is having a player of the week type game here today. Austin Krizik is having a player of the month type game here today. A 3rd home run. That 2nd one, we were like, all right, the wind kind of got a little bit of it. That one there, I think, would have been gone with or without wind. Krizik really hammered that one off the scoreboard.
7 RBIs through 5 plate appearances for Austin Krizik, and a trio of home runs, tying him with Hank Zeisler for the team lead at 9. That'll bring up Diego Alarcon from the right side with nobody on and 2 down. He swings at the first pitch and chops it foul. Ryland Charles has now scored 4 times. Krizik, Alarcon, and Zeisler have all scored thrice, with Santino Panaro scoring twice for good measure. Everybody else tacking on a run as well. 19 runs on 19 hits here through 4 2/3 innings. As Alarcon goes the other way, deep to right field. Heading back is Grunberg. Right fielder battling with the sun makes the catch, but the damage done in a major way. 9 runs scoring on 10 hits in the inning, including 2 homers in the 5th alone for Austin Krizik. When we return, Wyatt Topchick with the play-by-play the rest of the way out, with the Rebels leading 19-10.
9 runs on 8 hits.
And back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Topchick on the call. I want to thank Matt Neverett for calling. 39 runs scored so far combined by both teams, and we've had a multitude of long balls. I'm joking with him because he has to go over to the Aviators that there won't be a run scored throughout the rest of this ball game, and hopefully for UNLV that's the case with this bullpen here now with a 9-run lead. Troy Balco back out for another inning of work here, as the count is 1-1 to Robbie Ayers, the catcher for Loyola Marymount, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI. I mean, this has just been an offensive juggernaut by both teams here today. UNLV, as there's a swing and a miss there. Count goes to 1-2. But for Balco, big thing here for UNLV is to get a 0 spot on the board. The Rebels have given up runs in each of the past 3 innings, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 5 in the 5th inning. But the Rebels, 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning and 9 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Austin Krizik had 2 home runs in the inning, as that one is in there, called strike 3. Balco is able to get the backwards K there for out number 1. Good start here for Troy Balco, but we've seen that for UNLV. They've gotten the first out, but it's really been out number 2 and 3. It's been a challenge for the Rebels here. As we're in the top of the 6th inning, UNLV trying to bounce back after losing last night to Loyola Marymount. Split this 2-game series. Rebels also looking for their 26th win of the year. A big improvement from the 2021 season, as this one is a high drive into left field. This ball is well hit, going back at the wall, and it is gone. Dylan Dennis with a solo home run over the left center field wall. Another home run here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium. And UNLV's lead has been cut down to 8. It is 19-11 here in the top of the 6th inning. Another long ball here. That is the second for Loyola Marymount. For UNLV, Austin Krizik has 3. That's overall 6 for the Rebels. 8 combined home runs in this ball game, and has been absolutely phenomenal. As Troy Balco, as you've seen there for UNLV, the relief work, they've been able to get that first out, but it's been out number 2 and 3 that's been the struggle, as the first pitch will be taken down low for a ball. 1-0 is the count to Ben Grunberg. The right fielder is 1 for 3 on the day. So everybody in this lineup for Loyola Marymount, besides the designated hitter Critchett, has gotten an RBI. This one's rocketed down the third baseline, foul, and the count will go to 1-1. Although the leading RBI getter in this ball game, Austin Krizik. I mean, look at these stat lines here. Krizik, 3 for 4, 7 RBIs off those 3 home runs. Ryland Charles is 5 for 5. Alarcon 2 for 4. Zeisler is 2 for 3. I mean, UNLV has been hitting the ball well so far here today. And for the Lobos of New Mexico are coming to face UNLV as this one is popped up into the air into foul territory. Zeisler will clamp this one down for out number 2. Being out number 2 there. A good bounce back there for Balco after giving up that 1-out solo home run over the left center field wall. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Rebels leading this one 19-11. As coming up to bat here will be number 2, Cole Roberts, who's had himself a nice game. He's 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and has scored 2 runs. Also got an RBI as well. His last base hit was a little blooper into shallow right field that landed in between Joey Walls and Darian Williams, who was in the game at the time. As the first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. I mentioned for the Lobos, who are coming to face UNLV Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. UNLV leading the Mountain West, have had a phenomenal year, trying to put everything together to win a championship and get to the NCAA tournament. As that one is swung on a miss for a strike. 0-2 is the count. Last time UNLV faced New Mexico, it was just all UNLV. The last game, the Rebels won 27-6. Dominant win for the Rebels as the 0-2 pitch is down low. UNLV has been really, really impressive. I said it on the broadcast on Saturday against San Jose State. They've been absolutely dominant on the road, much better on the road than they have been at home, including sweeps on the road at New Mexico and San Diego State, where UNLV has not done that very often. It's been a magical year for UNLV as there's a chopper that will go foul. Rebels trying to put it all together, trying to win the regular season championship, get the number 1 seed going in the Mountain West Conference tournament, and win the tournament championship to get the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. The count is 1-2 here to Cole Roberts, the number 9 hole hitter for Loyola Marymount. Balco set. This one is going to be sent over to third, and it gets through in the left field for a base hit past the diving shortstop there, Gianni Horvat, who's in the ballgame in his 2nd inning of defensive work after Darren Williams had to leave after taking a bouncing ball to the face back in the top of the 5th inning. So Roberts, he just picked up his 4th hit of the ball game. He is 4 for 4, 2 runs scored and an RBI. Been a very, very great game there for Roberts. As another 2-out hit here for Loyola Marymount. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. UNLV leading it 19-11. 1 run scored off of a solo home run as the first pitch misses on the outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count as Devin Ornalis is up to bat here. The center fielder is 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Ornalis against Balco. And the next pitch there, Troy's able to battle back here, make the count even, 1-1. UNLV, who scored 9 runs off of 8 hits in the bottom of the 5th inning. Words cannot describe what UNLV has done offensively over the last 2 innings. As a very windy day here in Las Vegas. Off-speed pitch is dropped in there for a strike. 1-2 is the count. Roberts over at first. Cole on the year, 4 out of 5 on stolen base opportunities. The junior has reached base 4 times. We have 4 base hits. He has 4 of the 15 hits here. UNLV 19 runs off of 19 hits. The 1-2 pitch down low in the dirt. Good stop there by Eric Bajani. And the count goes even, 2-2. Balco looking for the strikeout here, his 2nd of the inning. He is set. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did not go around. Good eye there by Ornalis. And the count now goes full, 3-2. With 2 outs today, the luck for Loyola Marymount, they were 0 for 1 against George. Against Gamboa, they were 2 for 4. Against Woods, 2 for 3. And now Balco, they are 1 for 2. Runner going, the payoff pitch. This one is lined into right field, right to Joey Walls, who gets on a knee, clamps it down for out number 3, and that will end the top of the 6th inning. But Loyola Marymount is able to get a run across the board there. Dennis with a solo home run. Still trailing this one big here. UNLV on top, 19-11 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomczyk on the call. I want to give a big shout out to Matt Everett. They're calling the first 5 innings of this thriller. Matt having going over to his other job at the Las Vegas Aviators for their matchup tonight. UNLV looking for their 26th win of the year as Hank Zeisler is up to bat here. As Hank will take the first pitch down low in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Colby Schiffer back out for another inning of work after he was able to stop the run there by the Rebels in the bottom of the 5th inning, where UNLV scored 5 runs as he spikes both pitches here in the dirt. And the count goes to 2-0 for Hank. He is 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. Was hit by a pitch twice in this ball game. Also has a home run. So Krizik has 3 home runs. Zeisler with 1, Murphy with 1, and Bajani with 1. The wind's really blowing out straightaway center field, sometimes shifting over into left center field. Zeisler went opposite field for his home run. We'll take the next pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 is the count. Rebels, who are in the midst of this 13-game homestand, sweeping San Jose State last weekend as Zeisler fouls this one out of play. Losing last night. They're 12-10 at home. I mentioned compared to 11-2 on the road. Losing last night's ball game 16-12, highlighted by a 9-run top of the 9th inning by Loyola Marymount. So UNLV, hey, this lead is big for the Rebels, but we've seen these 2 teams just absolutely explode in some innings. No lead is safe. 2-2 pitch down low in the dirt. The count goes full 3-2 here to Zeisler. D3 transfer who has just been a star for UNLV. It's hard to pick kind of a team MVP this year for the Rebels, but I think Zeisler is near the top of the running. As the count is full here, the lefty versus lefty matchup. Zeisler rips that one into the gap for a base hit, and he'll take the turn as the ball goes all the way to the wall. It'll be a leadoff double here for Hank Zeisler, and the Rebels continue on that offensive outpour right now as a leadoff double, and that will bring up Joey Walls. Walls, who got the scoring going for UNLV, just missed out on a grand slam all the way back in the bottom of the 1st inning, as we are going to have a mound visit here, and I believe Colby Schiffer will be out of the ball game here after giving up that leadoff double to Hank Zeisler. So Walls will face off against a new pitcher. Another pitching change here in this high-scoring game between UNLV and Loyola Marymount. The Rebels lead this one 19-11. Runner on second, nobody out. We'll be right back here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Earl E. Wilson Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Top check on the call. Another pitching change here for Loyola Marymount as Casey Kitagawa will be the pitcher here, facing off against Joey Walls with Hank Zeisler over at second. First pitch, Walls rips this one to left field. This ball is well hit, and it's going to go one hop off the wall here. Zeisler's going to be waved home. Walls will go into second with another double on the day, another RBI double, and UNLV and even 20 runs here in this ball game as they lead it now 20-11. Walls attacking on the first pitch there, has now picked up his second hit. Both hits have been doubles. Leader in the Mount West in doubles coming into this ball game. And this one was ripped down the left field line, one hop the wall, and UNLV will kind of replace Zeisler with Walls there at second, up 20-11 as Gianni Horvat will be up to bat here. Horvat will take the first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0's account. Horvat, who entered in the ball game after Darian Williams took a nasty bounce on a potential double play ball back in the top of the fifth inning and went off of his face, left the ball game. Murphy went over to second. Horvat came in, and Gianni, in his first at bat, was able to send one into right field for a single as he'll knuckle this one foul. Also came around to score. So the only player in the lineup for UNLV that did not get a hit was a Darian Williams, who finishes out the day 0-for-3. So Joey Walls over at second here. Kitagawa, who gives up that double there, and the first batter he faces off, and now is in a 2-1 hole here. For Casey, this is his fourth appearance of the year. 3 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 of them earned, 3 walks, and has a strikeout. ERA sitting at 4.91. His last appearance was on April 12th against UC Irvine. As Horvat will send this one to short. Walls will go to third. Throw over to first will be in time for out number 1. 6-3 on the score sheet, but that does move Walls over to third there with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 20-11, UNLV leading this one here. I want to look at it here. The most runs UNLV has scored so far this year was against New Mexico in the third game of that 3-game series. They won it 27-6. I'm trying to think. Looking at it here, that's the second. Yeah, so it's going to be the second time that UNLV has scored double-digit runs, or scored 20 or more runs. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they've been. This is a scary good offensive team, and one of the best teams not only in the Mountain West but in the country. As Braden Murphy up to bat here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. RBI opportunity. He takes the 1-0 pitch high and outside for a ball. 2-0 is the count. For Murphy, he is 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And a home run in one of his plate appearances. A liner over the right field wall. Murphy knew it off the bat there. One of the 6 home runs for the Rebels. The 2-0 pitch. That one is in there for a strike. 2-1 is the count. So the end of the line score there for Schiffer, who gets goes a third of an inning through 14 pitches, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. Everybody who has come out of the pen here for Loyola Marymount has given up runs. This one goes right back to the pitcher. Now we're going to have a rundown here between Walls. And then the throw goes away from the third baseman down the left field line. Air there. Walls will score. Murphy, who stumbled coming out of the box, will actually head now to second. Will take the turn and stop there as Kitagawa there try to get Walls on the rundown. He did a good job kind of faking the throw to first, but then throwing it over to the third baseman there. Baquero sails over his head down the left field line. Air there for Loyola Marymount, their second air of the ball game, and UNLV now leads at 21-11 as Eric Bajani will be up to bat here. Bajani, who had a solo home run back in the bottom of the 2nd inning, went to center field. That's been the sweet spot today. The wind is blowing straight away center. We've seen a lot of long balls, especially off the bat for UNLV. As the first pitch here to the catcher, Bajani, high and inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Mentioned for UNLV in the back end of this 13-game homestand. They'll be playing 3 games this weekend against New Mexico, then going on the road for 4 in a row. 1 against Arizona State again, and then 3 against Air Force. There's a swing and a miss. And you're looking. I'm saying here right now, UNLV, they're scoring 21 runs right now. Wait till they get to Colorado Springs. That is high elevation. I've seen some just absurd high-scoring games there between the Rebels and the Falcons. As Bajani's going to rip this one to left field. This ball is well hit, but it's going to die out there just in front of the warning track for out number 2. I mean, we've seen it today, and it really highlighted by Austin Krizik, when he hit one up in the air in left field, it looked like it was going to be a fly ball, easy out, and it just kept carrying and carrying and carrying for a home run. So you never know anything off the end of the bat with the way this wind is going, as Santino Pinero will be up to bat here, the designated hitter for UNLV. The number 9-hole hitter has had a very productive game, as everyone else has in the lineup, as the first pitch misses on the outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here, as we're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Earl E. Wilson Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Troy Balco, who's gone an inning and 2/3, thrown 47 pitches, has given up 4 hits, 3 runs. Only one of them have been earned. Balco had a little bit of unfortunate luck there in the 5th inning. I mentioned the high chopper that hit Darian Williams in the face. That would have been a potential inning-ending double play. There was an error at second, the next batter after that. A little bloop pop fly that landed into right field with the wind playing some tricks on it. So Balco had a little bit of unfortunate luck there to give up that 1 home run. But other than that, I think was key here to really just quiet down Loyola Marymount there in the 6th inning after they scored 5 in the top of the 5th. 2-1 is the count here, and this one going to be taken down low for a ball. 3-1. Murphy over at second, reaching on the air there. Kitagawa trying to get out of this inning with only the 2 runs given up, but UNLV is on top by 10. This one will be taken high, ball 4. So Panaro is able to get the walk there. Just the 3rd walk, actually 4th walk overall between both teams. 3 for UNLV, 1 for Loyola Marymount. And that has been, you know, you look at that, 4 walks combined. You know, the pitchers are throwing strikes, but they haven't been throwing effective strikes. And I would say Rylan Charles in most days would have been the best hitter for UNLV today. Unfortunately, Austin Krizik is 3 for 4 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs, although Charles is having a fine ball game. 5 for 5, 4 runs scored and an RBI. He has a single, couple singles, a double, and a triple. He's a home run away from the cycle here. Charles coming into this ball game with 3 home runs on the year is currently right now in a hitter's count 2-0 after that pitch misses on the outside. Murphy over at second. Panaro is over at first. Charles up to bat here with the dangerous Austin Krizik due up next. UNLV leading it 21-11. Off speed high outside for a ball. 3-0 is the count. The Rebels, who have used 4 pitchers. This is the 5th pitcher for Loyola Marymount. And it hasn't really worked out well. Each pitcher has given up a run so far. That's a 4-pitch walk there. Charles will flip the bat here. Didn't even come close to making an attempt at a swing on any of those pitches. And it's back-to-back walks there. Panaro and Charles drawing the walk, and here comes Austin Krizik. Krizik has an opportunity here to get double-digit RBIs in this ball game. He's sitting at 7. The bases are juiced. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Krizik came into this ball game with 33 RBIs. He's already up to 40 RBIs. Coming into this ball game, Walls had the most for UNLV. Hank Zeisler had the most sitting for UNLV at 46. Zeisler has added 3 RBIs. So Murphy's at 3rd. Panaro is at 2nd, and Charles is at 1st. Righty versus righty matchup here. Krizik is set, and the first pitch is bounced in the dirt. Good stop there behind the plate. And the count goes to 1-0. Ayers there behind the plate too. Has had a long go of it as well. I mean, we've seen 32 runs scored. UNLV 21 hits, scored 21 runs, 1 error, 11 runs, 15 hits and 2 errors for Loyola Marymount. Kitagawa is set. Off-speed pitch is going to be in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Diego Alarcon due up next here for the Rebels if Austin Krizik can keep this inning alive. Oh, the 1-1. Krizik. Good eye there. That one low in the dirt. 2-1 is the count. New Mexico, who's probably watching this game, and said, yes, UNLV, just keep scoring all those runs, waste them. You know, we're gonna leave them all here on Tuesday before this weekend series. As Krizik gets underneath this one, it's a mile-high pop-up into center field. This one will stay in the ballpark, and we clamp down for out number 3. But the Rebels do get 2 runs across the board here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We go to the top of the 7th. UNLV leading this one 21-11 here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Topchek on the call here in the top of the 7th. UNLV leading at 21-11. Matt Neverett, who started off the game with me, had unfortunately, the way this game has just been taking forever, had to go to the Aviators. So finishing off the play-by-play duties, want to thank Matt for all his hard work that he does here at UNLV and over at the Aviators, as this one is fouled and swung on and fouled back. 0-1 is the count. New pitcher here for UNLV. It will be Noah Beal. We'll go up against Trey Becker, who will get his first plate appearance of the ball game, as Loyola Marymount will empty out the bench here and try to get some guys some opportunities, as the next pitch off speed hits the outside part of the zone there for a strike. 0-2 is the count. Beal, who is usually the Saturday starter for UNLV, will get appearance here to probably shut the door down and give UNLV an opportunity to preserve this 10-run lead, as the 0-2 pitch misses high for a ball. 1-2 is the count. Rebels scoring 21 runs in this game. Second time this year they've scored 20 or more runs. As Beal, wearing number 32, is set. Swing and a miss there for the first strike out of the pen there for Noah Beal. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Beal, the sophomore from Clovis, California, standing 6'4", weighing 205 pounds. Beal on the year with a 6.95 ERA. His last appearance came against San Jose State. He went 3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. As the first pitch will be taken for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Overall, his stat line now an even 33 innings of work. He's given up 39 hits, 28 runs. 26 of them have been earned, 16 walks to 26 strikeouts. Given up 9 doubles, 2 triples, 7 home runs. Has had 3 wild pitches, as this one is fouled back out of play. For Beal, just get him a little bit of work here before that weekend series against the Lobos of New Mexico. As Diego Baquero up to bat here. 0-2 is the count here to Baquero, the third baseman, who's 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Loyola Marymount, who got out to a 3-0 lead in the top of the first inning. A big home run by Weiss, but the Loyola Marymount just unable to hold the lead. The UNLV actually blew a couple leads as well. But the Rebels with a big 9-run spot in the bottom of the 5th inning, and has really blown this game out, as there's a swing and a miss there for back-to-back strikeouts for Noah Beal out of the pen here. And now up to bat here will be the left fielder Weiss, who mentioned hit that 3-run home run back in the top of the first inning. banged up a little bit on an Austin Krizik home run that he thought was going to be a fly out, but the wind just kept carrying and carrying, and he banged into the wall. He actually was limping around a little bit, but was able to continue on as Beal's first pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Rebels looking to pick up their 26th win of the year. Massive improvement from last year. They're currently sitting 15-3 in conference play. Their 3 losses, 2 here at home to UNR, our in-state rivals, and then 1 on the road to San Jose State. The Rebels have just been in control. A lot of sweeps. They swept San Jose State last weekend. Actually had a come-from-behind victory. Joey Walls with a walk-off hit for the Rebels. They had to play comeback kid a couple times in that game as this one's popped up into the air. Will it stay in play? The wind's going to play some tricks on it. Zeisler's coming in, and he overruns it. He overruns it, Zeisler. That one looked like off the end of the bat there from Grant Weiss was going to go out of play, but the wind just kept blowing. It's blowing from right to left, and it just kept keeping that ball in play there for Zeisler to have an opportunity, but tough play there for Hank. Traveling a long distance, overran it. The count goes to 2-1 here. 2 outs now in the top of the 7th inning between the Rebels and Loyola Marymount. The pitch is a swing and a miss there. Count goes to 2-2. Really out of the pen here. Noah Beal is looking phenomenal. We've had George, Gamboa, Woods, and Balco, the pitchers before Noah Beal. George started the ballgame, won an inning. As this one is going to be sent to left field. Diving attempt there. It's actually going to be stopped by Alarcon. Thought it was going to go into left field, but Alarcon made a nice job to get a glove on it, but it squirted out of his glove there on the dive. Goes in front of him, so it will be a 2-out hit here for Loyola Marymount.
Number 46, Liam.
Down at the WCC conference, they're sitting right now 13, 22-1, 9-6 in conference play. So Beal got the ground out, but it was a tough play there for Alarcon over at third. And now it'll be a righty versus lefty matchup here between Liam Critchett and Noah Beal as the first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Critchett is the only player in the lineup in the starting lineup for Loyola Marymount that hasn't gotten a hit so far. He's 0 for 3 with a walk, a strikeout. He's left 2 runners on the base paths. As that one hits the outside part of the zone for a strike. 0-2 is the count. Runner on first here, 2 outs. Weiss is able to pick up another hit. He's now 2 for 4. It's the 16th hit so far here for Loyola Marymount. For UNLV sitting at 21. The 0-2 is a chopper over to second. Murphy has it. The flip to first will be in time for out number 3. As UNLV, that will be the final score. UNLV and Loyola Marymount made an agreement that if Loyola Marymount did not get within 10 there after their at-bat in the 7th inning. Didn't want to jinx it. People told me in the press box, don't say anything, you'll jinx it. But the Rebels are able to run rule Loyola Marymount here today, winning this one 21-11. 21 runs off of 21 hits, 1 error for the Rebels, while Loyola Marymount got 11 runs off of 16 hits, 2 errors. The Rebels win this one, improved to 26-12 on the year. Loyola Marymount falls to 13-23-1. They split the series. Loyola Marymount with a big win last night, scoring 9 in the top of the 9th, winning it 16-12. But the Rebels answer back here today. Had to come from behind after being down 3 going into the bottom of the first. Rebels held a couple leads. They were up by 5 going into the top of the 5th inning. Loyola Marymount was able to bounce back to tie it up before UNLV got the deciding 9 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Player of the game, you can just kind of close your eyes and pick whoever you want. We're going to give it to Austin Krizik today. Went 3 for 5, 7 RBIs, including 3 home runs. Zeisler had a home run, Murphy had a home run, and Bajani had a home run. Rylan Charles went 5 for 5 on the day. For Loyola Marymount, their star hitter, Weiss, went 2 for 4 with a big, actually, it was, on my apologies, it was a 2-run home run. That came all the way, felt long time ago. It was a long game here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium, but UNLV is able to come up with the victory here today. I want to thank everyone, the production staff who had to brave the wind out there today, and Devin and the guys who had to deal with a long game, and they got to hustle on over to Summerlin. We greatly appreciate you guys, all hard work as the best group in the Mount West. And for Matt and Everett, calling the game here today. I had to leave a little bit early. I know he enjoys calling these games, and thank you for letting me be on the broadcast as well to help him out and finish out the last 2 innings of this ball game. And want to wish everyone a very pleasant rest of your Tuesday afternoon. And thank you for tuning in here on the YouTube broadcast provided to us by UNLV Athletics and by Learfield. UNLV wins this one 21-11. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk signing off here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Want to wish everyone a very pleasant rest of your Tuesday night.